Happy October. Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order. Nope.
Looking for something new in sci-fi or fantasy? Check out what Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, Nnedi Okorafor, and others chose as the best news stories of the year in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Well, that was most interesting.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of that, John and Emily are going to stop by to see us. John's getting ready to go overseas, so we ain't going to see him for probably for a while. He's headed over to Germany and somewhere. But we'll let him tell. He's going to come on next hour with us. So right off the bat, let's start with this one. Fact that Joe Biden lies all the time. Really? When I seen this news piece.
Shock.
Oh my God, dude.
This thing. Hold on, let me find it. This thing was just too
Politicians
funny.
don't lie.
That's my virgin ears there.
I was like, I wasn't even going to lead with that. There was something else I wanted to lead with. But when I seen the story, I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, and who doesn't already know this? Why is this a thing? And why do we have to talk about it so much? And of course, he does lie. So they did. So here we go. Undeniable proof Joe Biden is a liar.
No.
This is from the American Insider. It's an opinion piece by Mike Fishmore. And it just goes on and on about what he's lied about. So in all fairness, people, I'd play this for y'all, but it would probably bore most of our listeners. He has been caught repeatedly saying that he's done jobs that he's never done. He's been a bus driver. He's been a teacher at Penn State. He's been a fisherman. Man, I mean, he's been some stuff. He's been a professor. Now, first off, I'm thinking, I'm not the brightest dude on the planet, but it takes a while to become a professor. It's not like, you're talking 8 years, 10 years usually. You got theses and doctorates to do. I mean, you just don't just become one. And then the way he was talking, the guy says, so the guy asked him another question. He goes on, and then he was about to say he was a tenured professor when somebody bumped him from behind off the stage. Like, what are you doing, dumbass? I mean, the guy, and he's like, wait, I love the one about the school bus driver. That shit, I almost fell out of the chair laughing when I heard that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I was driving when I heard that. I'm lucky I didn't wreck my damn car. He just tells some whoppers, and whatever he's doing, that's what he did. I've been on picket lines myself before. Really? Where? You've been a fucking congressman your whole life.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what else has he done for a living?
Lie.
And I don't think he's done
Alexa,
much hard labor.
How long has Joe Biden been in politics?
Joe Biden took office as President of the United States on January.
Oh, never mind, Alexa.
And has served for 2 years and 8 months.
She's a dumbass sometimes.
I am trying to respond from the right place.
Yeah,
they sometimes don't get.
Yes, it is. She's a dumbass. Now she don't even know where she is. She's lost in my house because I got 3 of them. They get lost.
3?
Yeah, I got 3
Hang
of
on
them.
a minute. I got 1, 2, 3.
Watch your language, bad boy.
I've got 6.
Damn, you worse than I am.
6 Alexas?
Hey, let me tell you what.
No,
Alexa
Google.
is-
Same idea, but it's Google.
It's a handy product to have. Okay, so Siri's the dumbest out of all of them. Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. Cortana's the dumbest out of all of them. It's just, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, people, we're talking about your AIs on your telephones or on your computers. Cortana's the worst, or whatever. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it's the worst. Followed by Siri. Siri makes me curse. Siri even makes me use the C word sometimes. I mean, Siri's just pathetic.
And
Well,
she's basically Apple only.
She don't know how to find stuff. At least Alexa knows how to do searches. Alexa, how many days are Christmas?
Christmas is in 80 days, on Monday, December 25th, 2023.
We love you, Alexa. I like her too because I can send notifications around in my house. But I like it for stuff for like cooking, pulling
Yeah.
recipes, pulling what you need. It's a really handy tool to have.
Do you have any with the screens?
No, I didn't get any with the screens. I've been thinking about one for the kitchen. Actually, for the dining room table, I've been actually thinking about one. And
Google's got the biggest ones, but Alexa has them too. But I have it's a small one, but it's I don't know it's bigger than a phone and less than a tablet. Yeah. But it's perfect for if you're doing recipes.
But something like 4, maybe 6 inches would be good for me. I don't need anything bigger than I don't for you up front because I really don't want that intrusion in the front of my house. There's not a lot of electronics in my front of my house other than the big screen TV and what's in the kitchen. But the back of my house is loaded with electronics, all the rooms, even the studio. So
and the other problem is that they're not entirely portable. So the Alexa ones and the Google ones require a cord. If they had it where it was rechargeable, so you could move it around, like as you're cooking, you got to go over to this counter and cut.
Give them another year or two. They will. So everything's going wireless.
I'm hoping so. Because mine's just
side news people. So there's a company's designing a new charger. And it'll probably only work on new stuff coming out. But so you can put this thing, it's a base charge. You can put it anywhere in your house and it charges all your electronics, all your phone.
No, they've already had that.
No, those you have to actually set it on top of or set it near.
Yeah, the magnetic ones.
Yeah. This is one that it's just going to be a base station that's set in your house. You could be in your living room, it could be in your bedroom, be in your kitchen, wherever. And it charges everything, not just yours. It charges the ones in the other bedroom, your pads, your tablets, your mama's pad, your tablets, your daughter's pad, your tablets, whoever else's pad, your tablets. Shit might even charge a neighbor's pad and tablets, as far as I know.
And I've never understood that. So the same thing is that same technology has been with the cell phones for a longest time. They've always told me, like, in order to have longer battery life, you need to be on a Wi-Fi network. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? So, like, one day the power went off, my Wi-Fi network went off, my phone died in like 20 minutes. I suppose when it has a Wi-Fi network, it lasts 2, 3, 4 days on a single charge.
Because
how that works.
Well, because it's kind of like a USB, but it's kind of like it's hard to explain. If you look at wave, you just got to look at waves, and you'll know it's like a USB wave, basically what it is. It's bigger. I know people, we're geeking out. We'll stop, I promise. So we're gonna move right along to what the opening story was tonight. The actual opening story for the night show was dun 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 dun. The Russians shoot down yet another one of their jets.
I heard about again.
Hey, at least they're accurate.
How in the hell did they shoot another one down? What I mean.
Can you imagine
your army's being run by a madman? How else? I'm not surprised there haven't been more shoot down.
This isn't okay. Russia shoots down its own Su-35. This is not like some chump jet. This is supposed to be one of their more advanced jets. It's supposed to be a beast. This thing would probably be the same as an F-18 or no, it ain't no Raptor.
What did you say it was? The Sukhov 28?
No, it's an Su-35.
Su-35.
Yeah, so it's a Sukhov Su-35 basically is what it is.
So how does it compare to our 35? Does it look exactly like the F-35?
No, it looks more like a it really looks more like a F-14, but it's probably more equivalent to a F-18. Dual wings, dual engines, bent nose. It really, it always amazes me how some of our allies, not our allies, our enemies, technology looks so much like ours sometimes. I'm like, who is selling this shit to these people? Really, it irks me sometimes. Like when the Russians built the same shuttle we did, I was like,
it's almost identical. It's a little pointier, but it's almost identical.
Yes. Well, when you look at this, and people, y'all go look at this. This is an MSN article here, and when you look at this jet looks so much. It really looks like a Tomcat. Is what it looks like.
Well, put it up. Let me see it.
Oh yeah, let me see. I can do that, can I? So where am I? Wait, I don't know if I'm on which one I'm on here. It doesn't, for some reason, StreamYard doesn't it's fine with Google and stuff, but it's not a big fan of Microsoft. Let's see if we can find it real quick. No, Johnny, there's no porn for you to see, so you might as well leave now. Oh, here it is right here. Share. I'm just telling you, Johnny, you might as well leave if that's what you're waiting for. There you go.
You know what? That's similar to an F-14 Tomcat right there.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Yep. It's probably design of an F-14, probably got the power of an F-18 because it's been updated. But that's what it is. It's a Tomcat. And wait, come to find out lately, there they were talking about these Tomcats that are still flying. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to hear they're out there. But I found out the other day they got
2 people.
Iran's got F-4 Phantom still flying.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
And wait,
that's old.
there is
That's
a
old.
great video.
Yeah.
So there's an F-4 Phantom flying in Iran. It's on patrol, right? And when you zoom into the video, there's an F-22 Raptor sitting underneath it. He didn't know it was there. He never knew the Raptor was there ever. The Raptor stayed with him for some time and then broke off. And he never, ever knew that freaking Raptor was there. So the Raptors did it to an Iraqi F-14, and they've done it to several Russian jets now. Them freaking Raptors. And plus, them freaking Raptors are diddly. I don't know why we won't build any more of it. And a bunch of Congress people want to build more of them, and we just won't. There's something, I don't know. Whatever company built them, I guess they're mad at or something. Because them Raptors, I like the F-35, but the Raptor is a beast.
I was in a squadron A7 Corsairs back in Vietnam ones, the bombers.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm telling you what, the A7 Corsair was a beast. So were the A6s too. They were beasts.
So
I'm still a fan of the F-4U Corsair from World War II. Those were pretty nice too. They were flying tanks.
Yeah, they were. It's funny you said that because my original attachment was to an A7 Corsair group out of they were called the River Rattlers out of Belle-Chasse, Louisiana. That was my first assignment in the Navy. That's how I got on my first carrier duty, matter of fact, because they were a reserve group. Them rattle trap effing things. I remember one time we got one, we got it all back together. And they can't go supersonic. They got a top speed is like 550. You can probably push them to 650, but so one of the pilots, we're cruising, we're going to the bombing derby in Fallon, Nevada, so we're flying.
Yes, I've been there.
You've been there? Oh, Fallon's great. We'll have to talk about that. So,
Yes.
So we were on our shit. We were probably at the same damn time.
Probably, dude. Probably.
It's that's really weird. So we're cruising out there. He says he gets on a thing. He said, "You're not real scary, are you?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, I'm gonna try to push it." So he gets it up to like 625. This shitting thing sounds like it's just gonna fall off of it. But I tell you what, so they were really funny for the techs. They always would make the techs fly with them. They considered it good luck, but they would always bring us out on at least on one of the ranges for one of those flights because they wanted us in there to see how everything performs and to see how accurate this plane was and what it meant for us to do our jobs right is really what this was about. And I remember my first ever strafing run. This guy coming in, they got a Gatling gun on this thing. So you just see him start unleashing these bombs. Diddly accurate, excellent. I mean, they were just, as long as there were fighter planes around them, there was nobody getting to these SOBs.
Exactly.
And,
now I got one story for you, which is cool. I got to tell you this story, and it was funnier than how it was. We were on sea trials. We were in Gitmo, and to everybody who does not know what Gitmo is, that's Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Yep.
And so they got, how they get them deleted ships, they dog down all the doors so the planes can practice on them, right? Okay, no shit. They have one out. No, you saw all the Russian ships, watching us, the spy ships, right? So our officer, he took one of his bombs and he put it down the smokestack, dude. I mean, literally just went, and it sunk. It sunk the ship.
Well, yeah, it sunk because it blew it from inside.
It wasn't dogged down, the whole ship. And that thing went down. And you could probably just hear all the Russians going, speaking their Russian language. What the fuck they got there? What the hell did they got there? That just sunk the ship.
Johnny, dog down means with all the hatches are locked down, my friend. That so any good ship, any good crew on a good ship can keep it afloat by just keeping all those hatches locked down. You can lose half of the front of a damn ship and keep it afloat. Matter of fact, if you ever seen the ones from World War II and you see the Yorktown, the whole top of it is gone. And this bitch is still steaming in on its own power. It gives you an idea. But if you don't dog them down, any open hatch water just pours through and it becomes a chain. And next thing you know, your ass is listing or flipping or sinking. Ships can do a lot of things. I've seen video footage of several of the Bikini Atoll nuclear bombs blasting. Yeah. We had part of the Russian fleet out there. We had actually several different parts of fleets out there. And the first time we came over.
The first one was most of the Navy, the Japanese Navy.
Yeah, most of it was
Oh,
Japanese Navy. So the first one came over and they were really disappointed. Now, this thing, when you see this, you're like, wow. But they were disappointed. I think only 2 ships sunk. All the rest of them, a lot of them just melted into the where they couldn't sink. They were
yeah.
just like big steel air bubbles, is what they were. It was crazy to watch this kind of stuff, people. And when you get to go out and get in live fire exercises like what Sean and I were talking about, it's different. It's not like, oh, we're faking it, man. Anybody can screw up. Anybody can get killed at this. It's not that hard to get killed. And these jets, so when we fuel these jets up, we're going to work no less than 24 hours. So it's usually 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on. And sometimes it can be up to 48. And I even been one year when they were doing test, whatever they called it, and we ran 72 hours on, 48 hours off. And I spent most of my time at this little bar, house place. Anyway, down ways where you could go relax. I can't tell y'all what it was. I'm embarrassed. I can't tell y'all. So I'm not.
Those were good times, man. It was.
Oh, where
I
were they?
remember
Oh,
one
Jesus.
time we launched off an A6, and what
A6 is
happened
what
was,
beastified.
yeah, they were. But what happened was there wasn't enough steam in the catapult, right? So they launched the damn thing, and it went like this, whoop, right in the water, right?
Yeah, right in the water. Got
So what
rolled
we
over.
had to do was launch off 2 F-14 Tomcats and hit it with the 50 calibers to sink it because there were Russian ships around us.
Yeah. Well, people. Okay, so I know y'all watch the movies. Carriers are not always actually under steam when they launch. I don't. I probably just got myself in trouble. I probably shouldn't even said that. But it's always been a thing that carriers get up to full speed when they launch. Well, they don't have to do that now. That was back in World War II when we had prop planes.
1980s, buddy. 1980s.
But in the 80s, we had catapults and jet
Yeah.
engines. It's a little bit different. Oh, no, they still dipped when they went off. And that's why you see the Europeans and the Russians had the little thing that goes up. No, I worked at catapults. I was a flight deck captain. That was my second assignment aboard the USS Nimitz. And they weren't playing around.
No.
I remember when I got promoted from enlisted to officer, and I got to skip yeoman, which was so nice. I didn't want to be a yeoman. I didn't want to be called a yeoman. I'm sorry, I just didn't want to. And I worked really hard to skip that. And then I 2 years later, I said, "Oh, I love you, Navy. I'm retired. I'm out of here." So I said, "Adios, amigos." It's a fun life, people. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot goes on. You learn a lot of stuff. I mean, any soldier or any Navy guys, he's going to know first aid. He's going to know firefighting. There's just a lot of stuff the guys got to know to be on board a ship.
You also got to think about it, dude. In 4.5 years, I spent 3 years and 2 months out at sea, and I traveled the world, and I've been to 26 different countries. But check this out. I mean, I got paid. I had a place to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
You
Plus
know what I mean?
You just didn't get paid. You get paid on several things depending on what you're doing. I did. See, I got lucky. I did a lot of school. So I had almost 2.5 years in school before I had to start doing my at sea training. And then, like I said, I got real lucky. I got put on a flight deck, and an officer took a liking to me, and because I had command skills. And he was like, "Wow, I really like the way you run a deck." So he said, "You're going to be the flight deck captain for the next." And it's so crazy because I'm 18, and I'm now in charge of everything that goes on top that deck. And I mean, we're talking millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of equipment. And I'm thinking, "What? Are you crazy?" And but it gets into you. You get into it. Emergencies happen all the time. Shit goes on all the time. I've watched planes run into the side of the damn command tower. I've watched them run off the side. I've watched people eject and get hooked on stuff. I've watched this mow over a set of F-18 Hornets because one stalled and the wing tapped the other one as it was coming by, and they both went down. And because it was live fire exercises, we were under steam, and it was nothing. Them pilots would have stayed in there. They'd have been churned through the things in the back.
What else was cool about being on the carrier, and the carrier group that you were with when you were out at sea, when you did your cruise with the other ships, they would have smoke boxing. They'd set up three rings down into where they keep the airplanes at, And each ship that was on that cruise would send 2 people over who were boxers, and they would be boxing all day long. It was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
there was lots of stuff. Well, Carmen. I mean, there's lots of stuff on the ship I was on. We had 3 bowling lanes. We had basically a mini Walmart on board, and there was all kind of stuff you could do, all kind of games you could play. I mean, you had to keep us entertained because even though we were on duty like 12 hours a day, you still had all that downtime to deal with, and sailors are not good with downtime. So unless you
and for size comparison, you're basically on a 3 or 4 square block city area on a boat floating in the
Pretty
ocean.
cool. It's a ship, dude. It's a ship. It's not a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call it a boat. They might run you over, man.
Get it right.
It is
Get
a
it
ship because
right.
it launches and recovers other vehicles. So yeah.
It's I don't know. I mean, carrier duty was fun. I'm not going to lie.
It was
it's
the
not,
best duty in the world, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, compared to everything
in
else you can get
Scotland.
stuck with. I mean, God.
Hey, I was stationed in. I was
would have enjoyed
stationed
being
up
on a
in.
sub. I think.
Well, sub duty was
No,
good
you
too.
wouldn't. No, not me, man. I tell you what,
I think
was
I might. I'm not
stationed. No,
claustrophobic at all.
hold the horses here, guys. Hold the horses.
Sean said he ain't going to no submarine.
My first command was on a subtender, the USS Holland AS-32, and we were stationed at Holy Loch, Scotland, and we were subtenders, so all the subs would come in, and oh my God, I went down into one, dude. Ain't no freaking way I'd be in one of them.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of person to be on board a sub. It really does.
And a little bit taller than me. I'm 5'9", so that's it.
We're gonna be bringing John and Emily Goodwin on with us a little bit, but I don't know, guys. There's a lot. Oh, this was also the next story I wanted to run with. I love this one. So the gold asteroid they found is worth more than everything on planet Earth.
Gold. Wow. I never heard. I didn't read that one.
Oh, we got to go. Well, they found it a while back, but this thing it's
in our asteroid belt or what?
Yeah, it's actually worth more than everything on the planet put together. Wow. And it's not the only one. There's other ones out there that are just, and also some of these metals prove that this was a planet at one time and not just an asteroid belt because of some of the minerals that find it. Happens in the certain types of compression. So, it's interesting to see where they're going, but they say the minerals in the asteroid belt could supply us and colonies for the next 10,000 years. And by then we'll be so far out in space, it'll just be one of our stops. Well, people, even at 10,000 years, even at half light speed, we're just going to use half light speed because we don't want to be leaving all our relatives behind forever. But so Proxima Centauri is 3.8 light years out. At half light speed, that's 7 years it'll take you to get there. Not really a big trip. If you got everything on, it's a decent ship. You can do that. Things will get better and faster as we go along. And I know people always tell me they want to build these big colony ships and put everybody sleeping, dart them into space. Okay, I'm fine with that, but let's be honest. So let's say the trip's 500 years. Okay, so they're cruising along. All of a sudden, here comes an Earthship, pulls up on side of them with warp speed. Hey, wait, should we let them go? Should we wake them up? What should we do with these people? Because now we can be there in 2 days. It's a hard decision to make. Oh, and by the way, Elon Musk says he has seen no evidence that extraterrestrials are real. He's not saying that that there could not be extraterrestrials. He did say he thought we were the aliens, though.
Well, everybody thinks that, Joe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out we came from Mars. I really wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Yeah, but that theory for a while back, I caught all kind of hell when I first broke that out. It's because most of the humans on this planet, his biological clock is set to a 24.25-hour day.
Yeah,
okay.
That's Mars.
That's Mars. That's not Earth. Also, our optimal body temperature is what Mars was at 55 million years ago. So, I mean, what the hell? But we live on Earth. And if we lived on Mars, we'd actually live longer if we lived on Mars, by the way, people, in case y'all didn't know that. And for people like us who are older, if we'd have moved to Mars now, we'd probably add another 30 years to our life.
I ain't going.
Well, they brought this up. Somebody said, they're not going to take old people. They're not going to do this, not going to do that. Well, why? Because someone 50 or 60 is going to get 20, maybe 30, maybe even 40 more years on Mars. Because one, your heart is even extending yourself and working hard. It's just never going to get up more than 50, 60 beats a minute. You'll have to be strapped down to get it anything over that. And if you're not planning to have kids, you can go ahead and let your body adapt to Mars. If you're going to have kids, it's different. You're going to have to keep yourself in a 1G environment, unless you think you're going to be experiment with your children and see what comes out. We have seen some really horrible things, people come out from experiments in space, from chickens and pigs and all sorts of things that they let be born in space. Well, because a lot of them don't have legs, because you know what you need legs for in space. I mean, you're weightless. So, I mean, anyway, it's just stuff y'all need to think about as we get ready to get off the planet. What is that, Bruce? I don't know what's wrong with Putin. I don't know why he started this. I don't know why he wants to start World War III. Medvedev basically the other day said, well, if the Brits put troops on the ground, don't hold us responsible when a low-yield tactical nuke wipes them out and one accidentally rebounds and hits London on accident. That's his words. That's not my words. It's his words.
Speaking of Putin, I read today somewhere that he has filed like a criminal charge. He's going after, is it Schwab?
Oh, he's probably going after all kind of people. All of them are doing this right now. There's a lawsuit city all over the world. Trump's suing everybody and from hell and back. He's suing everybody. I mean, because once you say something about somebody, especially when you're a big company and shit, it's out there. You can't take it back. Once it's on the World Wide Web, it's there. I mean, it's going to be somewhere. And so, I mean, you're just kind of stuck. What do you mean, Carol? Right now, you know what? I'll pull up some fresh polls on Trump in a little while, but just before we bring our guest on. And, the poll, he's been polling really high. Yeah, I don't know. He might be the first president of the United States who's running the country from prison. I don't think if they put him, I think if they put him in jail, he still would win the election.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
I think he would. I think he'd still win. Mm-hmm. It's what are you going to do? I mean, he's in prison. He's president of the United States. Well, he'll just pardon himself then. So,
yeah, you're forgiven.
This is the biggest effing disaster we've had in this country in a long time. And Z-Jenners and all you whatchamacallits who love, you think y'all are, oh, we're saving the world. You have effed it up beyond belief. I mean, we give y'all a little bit of power, like people like ASC, and y'all just F things up. Like, I don't think Z-Jenners, I don't think y'all deserve any more power for at least 2 decades. Yeah, y'all need to really understand what life's about. I'm sorry. And millennials, you need to work a little bit harder on how things actually work. Unfortunately, nobody makes these rules. This shit's been going on for 10,000 years. If you want to change them, try. But, you know, some of the stuff we're talking about, like transgender, oh, we're going to let transgenders, guys in women's sports. Really? Why? Well, you know what? I'm going to grow some boobs. I'm going to get them a boom. and then I'm going to go just do some wrestling, do some other stuff, and win me some prizes and some money. It's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard. I don't care who likes it. Just some things is too woke. Okay. I mean, you don't woke yourself up and clobbed yourself in the head while you were doing it. The woke generation is turning into the stupid generation really fast. So if y'all want to save any image of yourself in 20 years or 30 years, you better figure out what the hell you're doing, because some of the don't follow. You know what the problem is? When you're young, you have a tendency to follow. Yeah, lead or stand out and watch what's going on, but don't just blindly follow. Oh, well, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. No bullshit. I mean, come on. We heard for how many years that Trump was with Russia. Now we found out it's Joe Biden and not Trump. I mean, come on. Then we found out that Hillary did election fraud. I mean, what the hell, man? It's just
right. And you can also put another Navy analogy, and I'll tell you a true story behind that. We went to Gitmo, and we had this lieutenant right out of freaking Annapolis, dude.
Oh, shit.
He was hardcore. And so the first day of fires training, we failed. We got a 28% out of 100. The next day, the Master Chief took that boy by his hand, and he says, "You follow me, sit in that chair, and don't say a freaking word." And then we passed with a 90 because the Master Chief took over the command.
Yeah, because the Master Chief knows what he's actually doing.
And that's what
We sell
they
those light
be
bulbs at
doing.
my store.
You know what? So they like you Gen Zers out there, honest to God, man, find somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing and follow them. Don't think you're smart because you're not.
Well, I don't know what they think though, but it's really starting to irritate me. Let me see. Let me finish sending this invitation out to John and them. What are you talking about, guys? Yes. Well, let's get rid of that. Wait, what
So,
happened here?
sorry for cussing. Sorry.
Oh, you're all right. Come on. What are you doing, StreamYard? I'm just trying to make sure my damn email sent. Oh wow, it won't send. John, what you did in my email, man? You know what? First off, let's remove this so we're not sending everybody's emails out. Kirby, that's Jay, and that's Jack. It's the three J's. Yeah, we're gonna change the name of the show to the three J's show. And then when we bring in a woman, she'll have to be like Janet or Jesse or Jean. Yeah. I don't know, some freaking name.
Hi, Carol Sanders. Good to see you.
Colonel Sanders, man, he's haunting us, man. Like, don't be letting no Colonel Sanders live around us.
Carol, I'm bad. Sorry, pardon. Carol Sanders.
I thought he said Colonel Sanders. I don't know. I mean,
I'm from
maybe I'm just
Pennsylvania. It's a Pittsburgh accent, dude. It's one of our accents.
I'm just saying, maybe I'm just hungry. That's all. You know, I skipped dinner tonight to do the show. Marcy, no, we're serious. That is the second jet that the Russians have shot down that belong. I don't understand it. They don't have friend and foe devices. Yeah, see, even back in the day when I was in the service, and this is like the turn of the last century, we had these little devices called friend and foe, and they would beep. So like during the war games, because there were teams, they would be set to whatever. So they would beep when the one was coming by it. Yes, well, it's to help to keep you from getting shot down. That's what it's for. And nowadays, the United States Air Force is so beastified. There is no jet currently flying anywhere in the world that could shoot down a Raptor or F-35 before we can see it and shoot it down. So currently, right now, we're seeing them about 20, 25 miles before they're seeing us.
And the same thing was said about the F-15s and the F-14s when they first came out. They were able to do that as well, engage an enemy before the enemy could engage them. So that's why they were so good over in the Middle East and such. You know, that's why they're still being used, actually.
That's why they're still being used.
And you know what else makes our Air Force and our Navy pilots, our Air Force and Navy pilots, is that we're a lot smarter than the other people out there.
Well, they're good looking. That helps too.
Yeah, and we let them shoot stuff on the ground, so they get better and better.
Yes.
I mean,
no. Why is this thing not wanting to send an email to John? What is going on with this, John? If you're listening for some reason, it won't let me send you an email. I don't know what's going on here. I might have to use Yahoo or something. It's what. It don't like the email address.
Yeah, Yahoo, so turn of the century though.
Okay. I know what it's doing. I am probably trying to, instead of putting it in a subject, I'm probably putting it in the BCC. I bet you that's what I was doing. Trying to forward it without an email. Yeah, no, that's what I was doing. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about on the news. And y'all were watching. So you seen we had the Russian one up there a few minutes ago. Of course, we had Elon Musk up there who was telling you how much he loves you and how he wants to have your babies and stuff. And, well, he's all worship Elon, people. Y'all think I'm kidding with y'all? All worship Elon. Elon is the new guy.
You think maybe he is the Antichrist?
Nope. I think he might be somebody else, though. No, Elon really actually likes us. He is the only guy I have seen since maybe Ronald Reagan who actually gives enough shit to put his money and his reputation on the line. He's done it. I mean, he lost $60 billion taking over Twitter, 40 billion paid and then 20 billion lost in Tesla and all. And what did he say? F it. It's just money. And went on to making it again and spreading the word. Starlink, one of these days, probably in another 10 years, is going to revolutionize the world because it's going to cover the entire area. And there'll be nowhere on the planet. You'll be in the freaking Amazon jungle and be on your text because of Elon. And he's got the Neuralink. So the Neuralink, let's talk about the Neuralink for a minute.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So
what is that? I never heard
so
of
the
that.
Neuralink is a link. It's something they put in your head so you can work all your devices, basically wireless and hands free. And it can do other things. It also can keep track of your health, make sure if there's something going on with your body that it lets you know. So a lot of things this thing can do that are really good. But can they use it to make you basically
Even if they
Cyberman?
can, even if they can, they take this like square thing or round thing or whatever it is with metal electrodes and stick it directly into your brain. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, I'm just saying it's just man, it's kind of a weird thing, is what I'm saying, guys.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. To be honest with you, I would not want that because where do they put it in the brain? You know, I mean, your human side.
Doesn't matter where it's going into your brain for one thing.
A lot of people are not going to like the device. I mean, that's just it. That's just it. What is it?
No, but almost they live. They live was a television signal that was counteracted by special sunglasses. But
I'm waiting
similar
for those
idea.
to come out. I'm waiting for those.
What was that, Denise? Oh, who's my favorite doctor? Ooh, I got my two, and y'all ain't gonna like it, so I ain't gonna tell y'all. So,
Dr. Jack, Dr. J.
Well, that's pretty good. So for me, it would be number 4 and number 11 or number 10, whichever one David Tennant is.
You know what?
The
Jay,
doctor that gets to come back for his 3rd time.
Yeah.
Jay, Joe, I'm waiting. You remember the movie 13 Ghosts?
Yes.
Whenever they had those glasses, and they could see ghosts with them.
Right.
I'm waiting for that to happen, man. I'd be jumping on that in a heartbeat.
Well, that's if ghosts are real. But what happens if ghosts aren't real?
Those are the same glasses they used in National Treasure, one of those 2 National Treasure movies.
I think that is like really sweet, man, to have that. That would change the whole thing of paranormal investigating. You wouldn't need to have equipment. You just put these glasses on. Hey, Amelia.
Jackie, I don't I don't know if I actually believe in ghosts or not. It's,
good one, Amelia. Good one.
I don't know if I actually believe in ghosties.
Joe is AI. Don't trust him.
No, Joe. Yeah. I'll kill you.
That was good. Good one, Amelia.
I don't know who he's talking about. Who this Amelia person is. I have no idea. Well, that's Carmen texting me. Please let John on. Carmen, leave me alone, man. Jesus. We have John Goodwin getting ready to join us in a few minutes. No, he kicked his wife to the curb. Bitch, get out of here. Go do something with yourself. No, actually, I didn't get to go. No, I didn't get to go. Yes, because they want to do. I can't say it on air. It's an event they want to do. It's like a tour, but I can't get into it anymore. Because I don't want to give the idea up to anybody because that just what me, and we'll have to go from there. John's got weirdness in his hands down there. I don't know what he's up to. He's strange, but we're gonna bring him on in just a second. There was one other one. Where'd it go? Hold on. There was one other one I wanted to do right quick. What did I do with it? I love that one about that one rock is worth more than the whole planet is worth. That is just
one rock.
Man, why couldn't I have been born like now? Because I'll be out there mining that big boy.
I'm surprised Elon Musk hasn't gotten up there and trying to take it down.
I know. We'll give him time. He'll be up there harvesting.
I think that's one of his goals is to go to that.
If anybody, he'll be the first one to get there. I mean, I don't think anybody else can. I mean, he's just so far ahead of everybody in space. That's not even funny. Now what's he doing? What is Project Omega? Unpacking Elon Musk's alleged mysterious business venture. Elon's in everything. God knows what he's in. This is probably him, before we go, before we bring John on. So NASA, in less than 17 years, plans to have not a colony, but a neighborhood on Mars. I'm serious. They want to build how? I'm not Mars.
I'm
on the
laughing
moon.
at Amelia.
Oh, because she's evil. But he wants to have a neighborhood on the moon. I'm thinking, put it on the dark side because I don't want nothing messing up my view. I got to tell you, I'm anti anything on the front side of the moon. I don't want to look up and see. Oh well, there's a city up there. What the hell happened? I like it like that. And Kirby, thanks for
Right.
that link. I'll mention it real quick. Yes, the U.S. Navy is using drones that looks like speedboats to mess with the Iranian military. Yeah, it works really well. And then so Chinese are one last thing, and rest in peace, people, because China lost a sub about a couple of days ago. They got caught in a trap built for the UK. So the Chinese had built a trap underwater to stop any like UK vessels that might be cruising where they shouldn't be, but not sink them or anything, just stop them. Well, this ship was underwater. Of course, it's a sub and got hung up in it. They're pretty sure everybody on board is dead. And then they found out that they're pretty sure the UK had a spy on board or had a spy put a bug on board the submarine. So they knew everything that was going on. So I imagine China's losing its mind at this point. So anyway, that's always fun news for y'all. We'll end that with a scary note, and hope there's no nuclear war while John's out in the big world doing whatever John's going to be doing in the big world. Welcome, John Goodwin. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. It's like amazing checking with you guys.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Jay.
Jay said, "What's up, man?" That's not Sean. That's Jack, man.
Yeah, the new Jack, Sean Kelly.
That's Jack up there. Do not mess with the 3 J's. See, now it's the 4 J's. See,
4
look at that. The 4 J's. So we can't even let Emily on because she's not got a J. If she was Jennifer, we could let her in.
Well, her maiden name was Jones.
No, well,
Yeah,
see
there we
that's iffy. But
Yeah, so that her name right now is Emily Jones Goodwin.
no, she's evil. She is just evil. Actually, real quick, Kirby, that was 2 days ago, and then the next one, what you're talking about, actually happens on my wife's birthday on October 14th. Yes, that is the next eclipse, the big eclipse with the big fire ring around it.
I'm sorry. I think that's funny. Amelia says, "Let the Canadians on."
No, we ain't let no damn Canadians on. Canadians are banned. Even Michelle's banned. What are y'all talking about? All you damn Canadians are banned. I can't let y'all on anyway because, thanks to Trudeau, the new media laws don't allow Canadians to be on American radio and television anymore.
Oh.
Yes, and especially, y'all been kicked. What can I say? Kicked by your own guy, no less. Yeah, this is y'all don't believe me. Y'all check on it yourselves. It's something we're following because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hosts in Canada. So we're gonna have to reroute them so their shows are actually broadcast through America's rules, so that it doesn't keep them from being broadcasted too. So, John, what's this? You're gonna be traveling, man. I hear you're getting on the road. Now, first off, before we even ask you where you're going, you're leaving the boss lady at home?
Yeah, she's staying here.
She's letting you loose unsupervised in Europe?
Oh, shit, man. I'm coming with him now.
She's definitely letting me loose unsupervised. But I've got, it's one of those things, I've got one of those lineups of actions to do that it allows a little bit of time for some sleep, but not much. Otherwise, there's a lot of meetings. But it's great. We'll be going to Frankfurt Book Fair, which is the biggest book show in the U.S. in the world, and then from there fly to London for several meetings with the booksellers, distributors that we work with, and several media outlets, so that we can get. We've been growing quite a bit in UK, so we've had a lot of winners there. So we're working on how to build it more, and media plays a big role in that.
Yes, because they love us in the UK, you freaks. They love the other show in the UK, not this one. They like the one that comes on Wednesday the best. For some reason or another, I'm not sure why. No, guys, if y'all listen to me regularly, you know what show's on Wednesday. So Frankfurt, I know my wife was there because she speaks German because she was a military brat, so they were stationed over there for a while. And so I hear you're gonna like it over there. Sure you coming back, man?
I got something good to come back to, so I'm
all right. I'm just trusting you.
That was a very good thing to say, John. That was
yes.
John's not stupid, man. John's not stupid.
He knows a good thing when he's got
for
it.
any future transgressions.
It's
yeah, but
Carol Sue Weston. I don't. Wait, what? Okay. Yes, he's. Well, where do you live? Oh, Write it again because it went right out of my head right after you wrote it. You're in Stockholm. Oh, you're going to be in London, but you live in Stockholm. Okay. Well, when he goes down the street, wave at him and stuff. Get some friends out there, do some cheering. Yeah, get to do, get a couple dozen, young ladies get out there and cheer for him. Go, John, go. Yeah, man, he might get invited to see the king. The king's a dog, so yeah. No, we're not going there anyway.
Anyway, no, because we're all excited because this is the 40th year of Rise of the Future. You've been with us for what, 5 years, 4 years?
5 years.
Yeah,
we were 4 years with the gay thing, but I met you the year before, so 5 years. It's and we love people. And by the way, if you listen to the UK, we love you over there. We lots of shows over there. We even got hosts from the UK, so.
Yeah,
I've been noticing though, y'all have just been growing and getting out there, last 3 or 4 years, 5 years, you've been really just, I think once the vibe gets out there, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Once the vibe's out there, I think people just find you in different places. They kind of sense it or feel it. And now that there's way more venues to find it out there, it's easier to find. You say, hey, I've heard of these people.
Yeah. And we just finished a live Q&A with Jody Lanai, our coordinating judge. Yes. And we had people from all over the world on the live Q&A asking questions about Riders of the Future and how to enter the contest and what about this and what about that. So that was really good.
Jody, I love Jody to death.
Yeah.
Jody's hot, people. Yes, she is. Ooh, man. You can't
get
in the room with this
John.
one.
Be careful.
No, Jody's number 3 of it. We ain't got to worry about that. That's not going to ever happen. Oh, who was, I just seen a question go by. What was it? Marcus, really, that's the name you're going to choose.
So, John,
I don't know.
He
said Germany.
You're a judge. I never met you before.
Ooh, he's the boss, man.
Can you tell me who you are?
He's the boss.
Yeah. So I'm John Gibbons. I'm the president of Galaxy Press. I was on worked at Bridge Publications back starting in 1986, and there we published all the fiction and nonfiction works of L. Ron Hubbard. Then in 2002, I was asked to come over and help start up a new imprint called Galaxy Press, where we only publish the fiction works of L. Ron Hubbard. Between both publishing houses, we've also had this contest that was started in 1983 called Writers of the Future. And that's a competition that was endowed by L. Ron Hubbard. And even when he passed in 86, he put it in his will to continue endowing it. So it's a competition that now has entries from over 175 countries. We've had winners from 50 countries. We have some of the biggest names in science fiction and fantasy who are the judges of both the writer contest and art contest. And we've got, I guess, there's a couple thousand entries every quarter to the contest. And it's blind judged. So all the judges will see is the story or the art and a number. So it's truly a meritocracy, so that if a person wins, it's because of only their work. So we have no idea where the people are from, what their nationality is, their age, their sex, anything. It's just we find out anything about them once the number gets transcribed and we find out who the name of the person is. So last year we had winners from 9 countries. It's just from all over. So that's something that the winners are chosen by the judges. I don't do any choosing of that. I proofread and I do the final quality control on the book, but otherwise, Mr. Hubbard pays for their flights coming wherever they are. One year, when the first year Joe came, we had 3 winners from Australia, so they're flown out. Yeah, they're put up for a week-long workshop. They're staying in a really nice hotel in Hollywood, either the Lowe's Hotel or something like that.
Yeah,
and
that was
and we have a real fancy gala that we have at a Hollywood venue.
Hollywood style, baby.
Yeah, it's black tie, red carpet. Usually about 20 to 30 media come there to cover the winners. So it's a big deal. I just recently added up. I think we've got about 330 individual media for the winners of the last volume. So we worked hard to get these guys, publicized and to help launch their careers. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm hoping.
I hope so.
Good.
John, thank you so much for telling.
Like I said, he the boss.
He's the boss.
And yes, man, you don't only talk to the bosses. Come on, you should know that by now.
Well, the real boss isn't here. She's
no. She's. We're not going to go there in case she's listening. But
I got headphones on so that nobody else is hearing.
She's Emily's great, y'all. She's the number 2 over there. So it's number 1, number 2, and number 3. No, they all work hard. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. Everybody works hard. I was actually. No, I can't talk about that right now. I have to talk.
Yeah, we also just finished at the end of September. We just finished the 4th quarter of year 40. So we're started the contest for year 41.
No, y'all can't subscribe anymore. Remember when who was on just recently? We were telling y'all it was 2 days left. I forgot who it was. Who the hell was that? She was just on with us. That's Jody, wasn't it? No, I think that was Jody. Jody Lynn.
Yeah.
And she came on. They had I think like 20 hours left. That we were telling y'all, go sign up, go submit. Y'all don't listen. So now you have to submit for 41.
Here's a question from Carol Sanders. What, if any, controls are there to detect AI contest entries?
We talk about this a lot.
Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, so you got two situations here. One, writers, and right now the quality of AI writing is so far from the level of winners for the contest. That hasn't been an issue yet. There are people submit it. It's kind of silly because people enter the contest they're trying to launch a career as a writer, and we're not interested, and they'd be seriously exposed and embarrassed when they came to the workshop and told to write something and they wouldn't be able to put together a sentence. So right now the quality of storytelling is with AI is such that it's nowhere close to what you get from actual people that can write good stories. For art, if there's a question on it, what we do for if there's a question that we ask for the layered files, because AI art won't have layered files in Photoshop. It'll be a flattened file. So that's how they find that. So if somebody comes in, it's getting better and better all the time, but you still have the problem with the fingers, ears, and stuff like that, which are not very well defined yet with AI art. But the main thing, if the judges have a question, say, okay, send us the layered files. And if there's no layered files, then it's AI art.
Yes. I got to say, this is a question that ever since Jeff Weiner came on has been coming up regularly. We talk about it a lot. It's something that everybody wants to know. We were talking with a gentleman just recently that was talking about a contest out in New York. He said they were having problems with it. It's going to be a problem, people. But it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere, guys. So,
part of the thing for Writers of the Future is that it's a competition for writing. It's a writing contest. And so we've had one person that apparently couldn't create art, didn't know how to draw, who won the contest earlier on before AI became a big deal. And at the workshop, when they did the various exercises, because they have live drawings, that person couldn't draw. They couldn't do the stuff. And they said, well, that's not my style. Well, that person's style was evidently using AI. That's not going to happen again. So we saw what happens when you have somebody like that. It's just,
I have one more question, Joe.
Yeah.
What do the workshops consist of?
Sure.
What are they?
Okay, so it was originally started way back in 1985 by a guy named Algis Budrus. He was a very famous editor from the 60s and 70s. And he put together several essays based on essays that were written from L. Ron Hubbard in the 30s and 40s that he wrote for Writer's Digest. And he was one of the most popular writers in the 30s and 40s in the United States. And so he spent time, he was the president of the American Fiction Guild in New York, and he worked with writers on how to improve their skills. So he wrote several essays. Those have been adopted into a workshop that is now taught from Orson Scott Card. He's the guy that wrote Ender's Game. Tim Powers wrote Stranger Tides, which was made into Pirates of the Caribbean. He's also multiple World Fantasy Award winner. Jodi Lanai, she's the one I just finished the workshop with just now. She's published like over 140 short stories, 50 novels. She teaches a lot of workshops. She's taught at universities on creative writing. So they go through not this is how you write a story. They go through their successful actions and what they've done. So if a person like Kevin Anderson or Ron Hubbard or Dean Wesley Smith write a lot. They'll publish 3, 4, 5. Dean Wesley Smith will publish 10, 12, 15 novels in a year. You got people that write really fast, high production writers. And you got somebody like Orson Scott Card, Tim Powers, who write a book in a year or 2 years. So you got that end as well. You got people that write hard sci-fi, people that write fantasy, epic fantasy, comedy fantasy, comedy science fiction. So all these different things get put together. So we have 2 or 3 instructors that do a week-long workshop. They're the senior instructors. Then we have all the judges, because we have 30 judges for each contest. They'll come in, they'll do an hour to 2 hour briefing on a certain aspect of writing speculative fiction, so that the winners that are there, they can take whatever they want to, and they can mix and choose, and they can do stuff and ask questions however they want to. But at the opening session, you've got Tim Powers and Jodi Lanai arguing, should you attend conventions? So they get, all the different aspects of it. It's not like this is how you do it. They get, here you go, and you can choose for yourself what you want. And the same thing applies, like with the illustrator contest. You've got, some guys that only work computer, Photoshop, and you got other people like Larry Elmore, who did all the Dungeons and Dragons art, who does oil painting. So you got stuff in between. So they get whatever they want. And you've got some people that want to go into all types of art. So we want to provide whatever their interest is. We want to provide something for them that they can use to develop a career with. So if they want to go into storyboarding for movies or TV, if they want to do graphic novels, we do comics, they want to do games, we provide something for everybody.
Oh,
yeah, including how to manage your money.
Holy crap, man, that's a lot to do.
It is a lot. It's pretty intense. And then we also have workshops are given on how to build a career as a writer and artist. So like, what kind of contracts are good? What kind of contracts are bad? How much did you charge for your art? What's your, all this type of stuff too, because you don't get that stuff in school.
Right.
Yeah, I can tell you guys, there's just, if you get lucky and enough to win one of these, dude, you're going to learn more in that 7-8 days than you will in 2 years of college. Yeah. I mean, and you're going to learn from the best, from the pros. So, like I was just teasing about the finances, but you don't teach it. I sat there with Leslie Dean one day and watched him. Well, actually helped him, I guess we should say, talk about what a S corp is versus a corporation versus sole proprietorship. Because several people there wanted to know. I guess they were getting in and making money. And we were laughing. Because really, truly, it's sole proprietorship until you make X amount of dollars, and then you can move on. Then you can move up to an S corp, and then up from there, or limited liability. People, depends what you're trying to do. But limited liability, you don't really need when you're a writer. That's something else. That's in case you're going to be bad, like John.
Unless you're writing farms people, but not very often does it do that.
Yeah, but then you got like Brandon Sanderson, who. I mean, he's probably the most successful fantasy writer out there right now. He had that GoFundMe or that Kickstarter a couple of years ago during the pandemic where he got $42 million in his Kickstarter. And when I talked to him last year, he said he said, the hardest part for it is now he's the CEO of his corporation. He's got over 30 staff that work for him. And he said, I can only write 3 days a week now. That for him is the worst part of it. Is he can only write. He loves writing. That's
when you hire a manager and let them do it, so you get back to doing it.
But he still has to be the CEO and control. That's a lot of money.
Yes, because he's actually Carolyn. A bunch of us. So I get told all the time, you should let go more. You should let go more. You should let go more. Now, Michelle DeRoche manages the station, and my son's the full partner in the company now. So he's doing a lot of that stuff now. But still, I hear it all the time. You should let go. No, hell with that, man. I want my fingers in everything. I can't help it. I just can't help it. It's one of them things. No, I'll be 80, reaching out of the grave, say, son, no, you got to do it like that. But it's just the way it is. I like to be it. So where you stopping first when you hit off? So when you leaving?
I leave next Sunday.
Okay,
so I'm going to go to Frankfurt and I'll be there for about a week, and then I fly to London and I'll be there for like 5 days. Then I
hear the one in Frankfurt is fabulous.
It is.
The UK is just the UK, so you're gonna. I've never heard any American that's had a bad time in the UK.
You're going to the original home of the hot dog.
I say we need a king. We need a royal visit while he's there, man. Go see the king. In the older days, I said we could use Harry, but not so much now. But that's what we could do. Get little what is it? Little Prince George. Have to send him some books, and get a visit.
Well, you said one time that a couple of years ago now that what Harry was interested in Writers of the Future.
He was. I actually haven't heard it. You know what? It's weird. I haven't. The only thing I've heard about him lately is something about hair plugs, just stupid stuff. I mean, I haven't heard. And I know he's tried to write since then because I've seen attempts, and I mean attempts at writing. And I'm not even a pro, and I'm gonna call them attempts at writing. It's well, unfortunately for me, hanging out with these guys, you just learn a lot through just listening. Now I've had 4 years of these judges courses. I mean, shit, I probably know as much as they do now. It's and you just pick up stuff. So when I'm listening to people talk, and it nerds me out sometimes. I was no, I'm not kidding you. It's a quick story, y'all. So I stopped by Barnes and Nobles. I wanted to get the wife something. So and I can't talk relaxed. I don't want to hear me, but. So I'm standing there, and these people, they're just geeking out, and I'm listening. I know everything they're saying. I start talking to them, and I wasn't dressed like this. I was in work clothes, so I look like I might rip your head off and, do something fierce to you. So there's no way they
Joe
thought.
Carpenter.
So I look over and I start talking to them, and they're like, wow, and then they start telling me, he said, well, you really know a lot about this. I said, yeah, I get to hang out with them Writers of the Future people every year. And I said, you just can't help yourself but learn something. And I guess it was the assistant manager heard me, and he's like, oh, well, we get books from them. I said, yeah, I think everybody gets books from them. I was like, I think he was hinting around about it. Like he wanted, I said, I don't have any autograph books. I keep all mine. Not going anywhere. Because sooner or later, one of these people are going to make it. And I'm going to go, nah, I got your book right here. Carolyn, now that you said it, I was going to plug it anyway. I don't know if you can see it. Let me grab the camera. Oh man, what is this thing hooked to? Look, wait, man, I'm breaking stuff up and stuff. Damn.
Oh.
Got Laura Lee's face.
So John,
are
you an author? Do you write books, John?
I don't write books. I write press releases and I write articles. And then I've got the podcast I do every week, which I'm reading like a book a week to keep up with that because I interview authors.
Okay.
So I had one guy. Now it's interesting because I'm usually run 6 to 10 weeks in the future because I get a lot of requests. Now, can I be on the podcast? Because it's been doing better and better. So each episode gets like 2 million listens. Sweet. So at the last show I attended, I had an author come up to me and he'd written me several times and said, well, I'll be at FanX. So he came to see me there in Salt Lake City at FanX. Said, here's the book for you. I really want to be on your podcast. So I finished reading his. Jesus.
Damn, dude.
That is a chihuahua.
That's the little demon herself, man.
Yeah, he rolled his chair over or something. But anyway, so he gave me a book, so I just finished reading it last night. So I'll be interviewing him, but I read all kinds of stuff now, which is what takes a lot of my time is just keeping up with the next interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all that stuff you're doing, all that work and extra time you're putting in, are you going to take any downtime in Frankfurt or London?
Yeah, I eat lunch and breakfast every day.
But you're not going to go sightseeing.
I will. I'll work out something to do. I always do. I'll take like a half a day, or leave extra early for the airport and just use that as a way to see stuff. I'll make sure I get something. And in London, I definitely will be doing. I love London. I will definitely be doing that quite a
London's
bit.
nice.
London's a
London is
great
nice.
place.
Yeah,
I'm lining up lots of meetings at various. What's your favorite fish and chips restaurant? Good, let's go there for our meeting. You know, so I'll
Right.
do stuff like that. And
well, the best one, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I was stationed in Scotland, Holyrock, a little town called Dunoon. And honest to God, the best fish and chip place was a corner greasy spoon. Honest
I
to
believe
God,
it. I believe
they
it.
had the
They
best.
usually are.
They had the best fish and chips. Oh my God, the vinegar was awesome. But you know
Yeah.
what was crazy about the Scottish people, especially the one at this little greasy spoon? They used to deep fat fry pizzas. Mr. Truth.
Really.
Yeah, I never ate one.
That sounds like a coronary artery. Guys, if y'all can look, because I ain't playing with my camera anymore because I keep ripping it out of stuff. This set right here was Maliva gave y'all a special discount on this set. So it's book 30
Yeah.
through 39. If you get it, it's up here for a while, but if y'all get it, this is a 10 book set I got. You don't have to know. You can't get it from me, but you can get it from galaxypress.com. Just go over to the UPRN and just click through. There's a link there to take you through. It's only $125. It's 10 books. It was $180.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is to grab it while you can. I don't know how long she's going to do it for.
That's
You got-
$12.50 a
It
book.
did
Right?
really. Yeah.
Maliva is there's 159
Yeah.
stories in it, so it's not like you're getting quite a lot of
Yes.
stories. There's also quite a lot of tips in there about how to write, how to illustrator tips and author tips and stuff like that. So there's a lot of information in there.
Beautiful artwork. Don't forget the artwork.
Yes. Plus the
Yeah.
box itself is really nice. I would pull
the
it
box
down.
is
but
really cool.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want that box is a little squirmy, so I don't want to pull it down. But I'll start
It's
putting
got
it on
we-
pictures
camera.
on
we
all
sold
sides,
that-
top, bottom,
Yeah.
front, and
Yeah,
back.
and we got pictures
Exactly.
inside too. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice set. There's great stories in there. I've read all of these. So, and and speaking of this, I have a complaint. I'm telling you, book 4 needs to be listed as porn. That's all I'm saying.
Or
Not this. No, not these. Something else John gave me to listen to.
oh.
I'm just saying, book 4
Joe,
should be.
Joe,
'cause I
geek
just got
porn
into
is a
book
lot different than
5.
regular porn. Okay.
Well, look. No, this is serious. I'm telling y'all guys. So John gave me something to listen to. I've been listening to it, and he can tell y'all the name if he wants. But
Mission Earth. It's called Mission Earth. It's
so
satire.
I just got into book 5, and book 4 is just she got this poor guy strapped down. Well, I'm not even going to tell y'all why. If you read it, or you
Sultan
hear it.
Grist is not a poor
Oh,
guy.
man. Speaking of that, I'm gonna get Carmen to bring what's his name back on because now I got something I can really talk to him about. I would really like to talk to
Jim Eskerman.
yeah, I'd like to talk to him about his performance because I'm gonna wait till I get through it, but it's
amazing. He's a
It is
brilliant
amazing.
actor.
I was surprised looking at his resume how many movies and shows I've seen him where he's done a senator or a president or some office person, the office administrator. It's amazing. He's the Rich Little of this decade, I guess, this century.
He well, I mean, this particular character, this guy is sleazy, greasy. I mean, I can't even put it into words what this protagonist is, and
yeah, it's his confession. The story is his confession.
Yeah, it is. So but you see, I didn't know that until book 4, right? That's book 4. I found that book 3. I don't know. It was one of those books up in there. I'm saying books. I'm listening to it on audio. I'm not reading it.
So you do have audio books?
So this one's not available yet.
Cool.
So,
but we've got the Battlefield Earth that he plays. That's 47 hours long. It's 80 or 67 actors, 150,000 sound effects. It won every major audiobook award when we released it a few years ago.
To it, just let me know and I'll hook you up with it. But
if you like audiobooks, we'll definitely get it to you.
Yeah.
So do I call you Jack or do I call you Sean?
It's Jack, man.
On this show, call me Jack, but my real
Jack.
name is Sean. Sean Kelly.
That's
Jack Sean Kelly, man.
They would not let me use my name because it was Sean and you had Jay and Joe.
So that's right. It's Jack.
It's Jack.
Somebody wrote to me the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was.
Exactly.
So the other day, somebody writes to me, said, I didn't know Sean's real name was Jack. I said, oh, yeah, his real name is Jack. He said, well, he don't say that on his show. I said, oh, it's a secret. That's why it's only on our show. You sure? I said, yeah, his real name is Jack. I forgot who was listening. They were laughing their asses off. I was like, no. No, that's Mr. Goodwin. And where you live. If you live in Frankfurt, just show up at the thing and you might see him walking around or talking to somebody. Yes, no, don't walk up and talk to him. No, he might put some kung fu in your ass. You better just be careful.
No, dude, man, why
No,
are you doing
actually-
that to your? Why are you talking about your boss like that, Joe?
Actually, he ain't. I'm his boss. What are you talking about? He's on my network. you crack it up, man. He's what's that, Jimmy? No, John is a great guy. He is the real boss of Galaxy Press. Emily's number 2. He's number 1. I just like to give him shit because Emily is like the whirlwind from hell. Oh yeah, she's like, remember them old tops? You know when we were kids, remember them tops? You would just take them. Whoosh, that's Emily, buddy. That's Emily. It's like one of them Tasmanian devils. I'm telling you, y'all just don't know. No, it's great to watch them, and I would film them, but they would never let me put it up. So no, they wouldn't. No, because there's too many things that there's just secrets that you need to know when you're there. Well, maybe secret's the wrong word, but just things that you need to know when you win and get there. It would be a better way of saying it. Well, if you ever notice when I talk about the classes, I only talk about so much because really the rest of it, you need to win and be there. I love talking about the 24-hour book. I can't help myself because that shit is just too funny, man. I can't help it. It's just, these people, you see their face when they come out, and they're like, just like, it's more like, 24 hours, huh? And I know some of them are like, whoosh, and they're done with other ones. Matter of fact, who was I talking to just recently? Steve Parisi. He's like, yeah, I wrote it, came back, tore it up, wrote it again, tore it up 2 hours before I went out and wrote it again. I was like, oh shit. Well, guys,
part of the workshop is you do the first 2 days of the workshop, which is really intensive, and then they're sent off. They're given 24 hours to write a story. And part of the beginning workshop is they're given 3 basic prompts. One is Tim Powers walks around with a bag and gives them each just a total simple item. Like here's a marble, here's a broken compass, here's that type of thing. And then they used to go out in the street and meet a stranger. That's not done now since the pandemic. So they meet each other and just get to know each other. And then the third thing is they learn how to research. They used to go to a library. That might go back into again now that we're getting on the other side of the pandemic. But the libraries have become havens for other people just hanging around there. So they're learning how to do research on Google, on the web. And then they use those 3 things to put together and they write a story. They have 24 hours to write a story and submit it. And then 3 stories are chosen and they workshop that. So that they're passed around to everybody, they read them, and then they go in there, everybody critiques them. And pretty much 1 for 1, the stories over the next year or 2 will be sold professionally. They're that good. They're amazed that they could write a story that good in 24 hours.
It is really, it is amazing. And I remember Tim Powers one year asked me, he says, I think we were at the Roosevelt because of the lobby. He goes, go get some pictures. So I said, all right. So I got down there because the way it was set up, the mezzanine, you could get up on top and look down and nobody could really see you. And the camera zooms in pretty good. So I'm just snapping pictures. Then I come down because I want them to see me taking them so they know they've been to have pictures of. And I was like, God damn. And I'm showing them some of these faces were like just fear. That was great. I couldn't post those really because it wouldn't have been fair to the winners, but they were good.
It's an ordeal for some of them to be able to do that. But when they get the other side of it, they're so proud of themselves. It's a really good thing too. It's like one of the things that probably any artist, probably does is confidence, but also is something called an imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm not good enough. And this helps to build up that confidence where they realize they really do have that touch, that ability to do it. So it's really empowering, the whole workshop.
I'm never going to write a book.
Your work?
I'm never going to write a book. No.
I don't know why you know all kinds of stuff about the paranormal.
That I could do, but here, to be honest with you, I speak in double negatives all the time. That's really how I know how to talk and write down. But it's like I need a ghostwriter. Somebody.
Well, there's plenty of them too.
Yeah,
there's plenty of them around, but the whole to speak with reality to you then is one of these writers is someone that can't not write. So there you go. There's your double negative.
No, I'm telling you, man. That's my whole vocabulary. You know,
Yeah.
every girl, and I get yelled at because of that, because of my double
Yeah.
negatives.
But that's something that really rings true for a writer and artist. I can't not paint. I can't not write. I can't not,
Okay.
express their muse. It's in them that since they were wee ones.
Yeah, but I'd love to get a go because I have so much. I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. I've had the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society since 2006, but I retired from it. You know what I mean? I'm doing radio now on Joe's programs and stuff. But I have so many stories that I could actually put down, you know. And
It'd be easy. It'd be easy to get you somebody that could ghostwrite it for you.
Yeah.
okay,
There's some
If
good
you're,
ones
if you're
out there.
interested,
too.
yeah.
are they expensive? Are they expensive?
There's different levels. If you get somebody that does, there's people that will write the books for, ex-presidents and stuff like that. They're more expensive than the guys that ghostwrite, Bill's Beanery's expedition,
Okay.
Well, I've met a few too that are willing to work for a percentage. So I got somebody who's been bugging me to write something for me, but I've actually been getting a little. I don't know. It's this thing when it's finally finished could be about 175,000 words. I think it's currently sitting at 65,000. So I am today almost day 5 in this experience that I'm writing. This thing is just huge. But because of this gentleman and some of the people I met there, it's actually a lot easier. See, before there were certain things I couldn't even grasp. I didn't know how to flow things a certain way. I didn't know how to use filler correctly, or even how to find filler for that matter. What was this? And I've listened to enough of them now, so I'll sit there when I'm stuck on something. I'll just flash back through one of my heads, maybe something Jody said, or something Tim said, or something Dean said, or something McCaffrey said. Not McCaffrey. What's his name in Las Vegas?
Well, that's Dean Wesley Smith in Las Vegas.
No. His mama was a famous writer.
Oh yeah, that's Todd McCaffrey.
Yeah, Todd McCaffrey. Yeah. And I'll just sometimes it'll just okay, I remember them saying that to somebody in the class, and then it'll unstick me where I'm at. Look, guys, from experience, all I can tell you, if I can learn to even get 5 freaking words down, y'all are missing out.
Yeah, we also have that free online workshop too that we offer.
Yes.
You take that if you go to riseofthefuture.com, we have a free Rise of the Future workshop. It's about 13 videos that we did.
Excellent, actually.
Yeah, Orson Scott Card, Tim Powers, and David Farland, going over different parts of how to write a story. How to start a story, how to.
No, I was just telling Rainey. No, I took the course. The only thing I hadn't completed was you got to write a story, and I was like, no, I'm refusing to. It's like a kid thing. Don't worry about it. It's because of the other good one. That's why. We're not mentioning no names. We're just saying the other good one. That's all. Yes, evil.
She's the one. Yes. She's the one that created the course. She created the course.
It's we're talking about Emily Goodman, guys. So in case y'all don't know, VP over at
we got over 7,000 people in that course.
Wow. So
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if y'all, all right, people, if y'all happen to see John walking around wherever, he is approachable. Just don't. I know he looks like a rock star to y'all, but just don't get stupid. No, because he's a busy man. He's there. He's actually working. Yes, it's not so much a vacation. It's more of a work trip. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind somebody saying hi to him. No,
I love that.
If you see him somewhere, just he's there going to be. No, they're there working. That's all it is to it.
Especially if you can take him to the best fish and chips place.
Exactly. If you can recommend a good fish and chips place, I look forward to meeting you.
Yes.
Yes.
I wonder where Atreides is. Oh, I'm going to find Atreides. This guy he's a chef. Well, he was a chef. No, he's this guy Atreides was a chef in London.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the book Atreides by Frank Herbert.
No, he's oh, I know. This guy was a fabulous cook, and he was working at some of the top restaurants in London. I wonder, but he said his favorite dish was fish and chips. He'd go home and make some greasy ass fish and chips. He's telling me about that.
That's the way to go, dude.
So he actually got his boss to let him put it on the menu. He was a good seller, from what I understand. Except the difference was, instead of being like 6 pounds or 9 pounds, it was like 30 pounds for the same thing. You could go to a restaurant.
Honest to God, man. I mean, that was my meals over in Scotland.
Yeah,
fish and chips, man.
Yeah, I don't like it super heavy breaded. I like it just lightly, but it's just, I love the cod there. Fresh cod is so good.
Oh my God, yeah.
Cod is yummy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm from Louisiana, man. I eat real fish. I eat that fake ass shit. I eat real fish. I eat redfish, man.
That's not.
Yeah, if it don't have oil on it, it ain't fish.
I eat redfish. I eat speckled trout. I eat real fish. I'm just
no.
Y'all are
coming out down there. They're covered in crude oil. If they don't have crude oil on them, they ain't
ain't no crude oil around where I live.
Yeah. If you don't line them up to being a heart attack material, then it's not Cajun food.
Actually, see down here. So redfish are usually cooked. They're usually baked or broiled on a grill, and they'll cut them down the middle and they'll fill them with all kind of great stuff, and then they'll throw a little sauce in there and let them cook with a little butter and garlic. They're really, really good, and the meat is really flaky. Speckled trout's different. You use a little milk batter, very thin batter, because it's a very delicate fish, and it's a really good fish.
I don't know how to eat
and you
trout,
know what?
Jay.
I catch him out of my backyard. Oh no, green trout and bass are different. Now we cook them differently. It's but these are a different type of fish. Or rainbow trout.
What's a green trout? I don't even know. I
never heard of
green
that.
trout is a smallmouth bass. It's a smallmouth bass. Is all this. They just call them green trout down here.
Jeez.
But it's all it is a smallmouth bass. But two of the biggest bass ever caught in the country were caught not far from where I live. It's they got some, but the biggest one ever caught in the world wasn't even our damn country. I think it was in Mexico. Unless something's changed, but I think that's where it was last time. No, I like bass. Bass is a good fish too. I like what I like. It's a good trout almondine is what I really like.
Oh my God.
Man, look, man.
Throw it on
you
the freaking grill.
Okay, let's take it back to when we were last doing well. We were talking about fish and chips in London.
On the side,
fish and chips in London.
No.
Okay.
Now we've got a whole restaurant menu going over here.
You're out number 3-1.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just you know. Yeah, this is the food hour. I'm sorry, people. No, we were talking about all kind of good foods.
I mean, I like reading authors that are chefs. I like reading their books. You know.
Yeah.
With my and I'm not making no excuse. I'm not making excuses for me, but I do have that ADHD. Okay, so I'll start reading a book at the beginning. I might get 12 pages, and then I'll skip to the middle, and then I'll skip to the end. You know what I mean? It's just
I only do that if it's really boring.
When I read a novel, I go to the last sentence always.
That's
I
what
read
my
the
mom
last
does.
sentence first of any book I read, and then I start at the front. I'm like, I'm trying to imagine as I'm reading it, how do I get to that last sentence?
Do you want to say something?
That sounds like work, man. I want. No, I like the fact that I can listen. It's way easier for me.
I like listening too, Joe.
It's like right now I'm listening to Mission Earth driving back and forth to work, so I can catch it and listen to it. It's a good listen. Catch about an hour, 20-minute ride each direction, so it's interesting to do it. Yes.
So I'm gonna be gone for like 2 minutes. I just finished that 2-hour workshop and then went right into this. So
go get something good, man.
We'll be waiting on you.
we got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. Oh man. Anyway, guys and girls, that was John Goodwin. He'll be back in a few minutes.
I like him. He's a very cool dude.
He's a nice guy, man.
Very nice. Really, I mean, he is. I'm enjoying his conversation.
Dax. No, I've been knowing John for about 5 years now. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like to give him shit, but he's a good guy. No,
hey, Joe,
the one I like to pick on the most is his wife, Emily. She can't help it. She's just pickable. Yes, some people are more pickable than others, and she just happens to be one of those people.
And I'm
No,
sure
she's
she's
good,
hearing
too.
you say that right now, Joe.
That's okay. If she knows she was, she'd be saying something back. She couldn't resist herself. She had to say something. It's no, I like her. She's a good person.
Hey, Joe,
Everybody I've met over there so far is a really good group of people.
have you ever eaten walleye?
Yeah, actually, I have.
That is
It's
some good tasting fish, man.
I've eaten most fish in the United States because what we don't have down here, somebody usually has in a restaurant or something. So we'll see some Yankee fish. I like how you wrote that.
Yankee,
Like,
come
like
on,
haddock?
dude.
Yankee. No, I did. That wasn't me. That was somebody testing the message board test that said Yankee fish when I looked up.
Yankee fish, my.
Some of that
oh,
Yankee
my
haddock.
God.
No, that's not. Look, people, that's not why we call them Yankees. Y'all know why we call them Yankees.
Why do you call them Yankees?
Oh, we can't tell y'all because y'all are Yankees.
I'm not. I was born in Maryland. It's the
Well, you
first
see,
southern
shame on
state.
you should know. No, people. No, anyway, we're moving on from these conversations. I like to talk about food. I should do a food show, but it would drive me crazy, and I'd gain 500 pounds. And I would have to invite Amelia on because she's the number one food. She is the number one food tease on the whole internet.
Yes,
oh my
she
God,
is.
yes. Don't get on her food list. All you can be thinking about is food all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is. She's evil. Oh no, she's evil. She likes to send you all kind of good lookings. And we're not just talking dessert. She's talking food, man. I'm like, stop it.
Good Italian food. Very good
yes,
Italian
good,
food.
good, solid food.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure on my Facebook I have a recent recipe I discovered and I made a few weeks ago for shepherd's pie.
Oh, what do you use? What do you use?
Lamb.
Good man. You use lamb. I like to use ground meat though, but lamb is the
It was ground. Yeah, it was ground lamb. Yeah.
ground lamb. Yeah. But on our shepherd's pie, we do the ground meat because my mom don't like lamb. Then we do a beef broth in there with some peas, then mashed potatoes on top
carrots.
of that.
Yeah. All right, now, all right, enough of that crap. Let's see.
Yeah.
Joe Biden stumbles through pre-written note cards as he forgets the Pacific. What he forgot the Pacific. Jesus.
How do you forget the biggest ocean on the planet?
I don't know. Oh, wait, we got to talk about this one for sure. Evidence proves one of the most impactful events in history was a lie. Do y'all know what this is?
The moon landing?
Yeah, so this cracks me up. So the boots they found, they said, well, Neil Armstrong's didn't have grooves in them, like the ones they showed on the landing on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody's running around saying the moon landing wasn't real because the boots that Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon with, they had grooves across it. These boots have these little round circles in the bottom of them. And they're definitely not the same boots. So I was talking to a group the other day, and they're like, see, Joe, we told you, because they got a bunch of these people who think we didn't go to the moon there. See, we told you it's the boots. I said, well, let me ask you a question then. I said, the moon landers are up on the moon right now, and you can see them. They're like, what do you mean? I said, oh, yeah.
10X or better.
Well, you don't have to do that because U.S., Russia, and China, and India all have satellites that orbit that have taken pictures of them. So you can go to their sites and see the moon landers for yourself. And the other question I asked right after that is, I said, and why would India, China, and Russia lie for us? If those landers weren't there, why would they? Oh, see, they're not there. The Americans were lying. I said, more than likely, some stupid person at NASA put the wrong boots there. I said, that's probably more like the truth. I said, but hey, you can believe whatever you want. We live in a free country. Feel free.
I hate people like that. Holy shit. Holy crap.
Well, John is actually Neil Armstrong. He's just being reincarnated. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? See, I know stuff.
Then why isn't it called Apollo Press?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
We're onto something now.
Let's see.
That's Filipina
refugius. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. Refugius. Okay, close enough.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Who oh, okay. No, we ain't going there. Sorry, you can't ask that question. Go to another one.
Did you see that article I sent you about the moon?
Oh, which one? No, I don't know. Did I?
They finally came to a conclusion of what the center of
Oh,
the moon
yeah,
is.
I did. I did see it, yeah. I did see
Like
it.
we didn't already know.
But I did like how it started out with green cheese. I thought that was good.
Yeah, it's classic buffoonery right there.
No, he's gonna be in Frankfurt, styling around. He always looks good when he's walking around, taking care of business. Uh, oh, I don't know. You gonna be doing any panels while you're in Frankfurt?
No, I've got. I'll be attending some. I'm doing that to just learn more about what's happening. Publishing is changing a lot right now, especially with
Yeah,
AI.
yeah,
So I'll be attending panels and just trying to learn stuff. And I've got a lot of meetings. I'm just trying to keep up with what's happening on international scene, and with the pandemic happening, a lot of lines, things change. People
yeah.
change on position, so I just need to make new relationships.
It's a good time to be doing it.
Yeah.
Uh, that was funny, Steph. Steph said you're not worried about being nuked while you're in UK. Medvedev said he was going to nuke London, so you better be careful while you're over there. It's no, he actually said he would nuke London if the Brits put boots on the ground in the Ukraine, and the Prime Minister said they're putting boots on the ground in the Ukraine. So no, not to fight, to train. Yes, but Medvedev said they would use special tactical nuke against the ones in the Ukraine and a special tactical nuke on London if they did it. I don't believe he will, but I didn't hear Putin say that. So
that
we
would
got to make
ruin
sure
my
John's
fish and
safe.
chips. That's not okay.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
It's not cool. If somebody messes with my fish and chips, I'll be pissed. That's not okay.
Well, you can hijack it to Ireland and get some shepherd's pie.
Yes.
No, I went fish and chips in UK, in London.
Okay.
Actually, y'all stop talking about food. Y'all making me damn hungry now. I'm going to have to go find something to eat while we live.
You started talking about KFC.
Yeah, but we're supposed to have moved on for that now. Who is
and
this?
For anybody that doesn't know, we're in Writers of the Future. We started year 41 now. So we won entries for the Writers and the Illustrator contest. So you submit your stories or your art.
What do you mean? What you mean? Ooh, excuse me. Y'all want to know what my favorite story is in each one of these and my favorite artwork? No, that would take half the show. Or what's left of the show, actually. I actually know because, well, okay. So this one, and this one, and this one, I have been there when they did these books. I mean, I was part of what was going on there. These, actually, John had given me, I think, all the way to, well, I bought some and he gave me some. So anyway, it was to book 26. And that's as far as I've gotten backwards on them. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. The quality of the writing is about the same. And what I mean by that is it's PG-13.
Yep.
So the stories, you're not going to hear, you're not going to read nasty language. There's not going to be nasty sex. There's not going to be blowing up guts and killing all over the place. But yet the stories, and I promise you this, the stories will still be entertaining. And actually, for me, it was kind of a flashback to when I was a kid and I was watching all them TV shows my mom used to watch out of the 40s and 50s that were just, or even some of the ones that when I was growing up, like the Cleavers and shit, there was just, there was a sense of humor there that didn't involve anything bad or nasty. And these embody the same thing. It's one of the things I like. It's one of the things I like about them is that's how they do, because that's risque, keeping yourself to just this type of story, especially when you go to sell them on open market. And they seem to do well. I mean, the stories are good. You're going to enjoy the story. I guarantee you. And it's more than that. So like this set we were talking, it's 159 stories, separate individual stories. You don't think you're not going to, you don't think you're not going to like one of them? I guarantee you can like far more than one of them. Yeah. And what's nice about this is it's multiple genres. So now I'm going to let John take you down the genre thing. But so in this 10 volume set we got up here, how many genres do you think this represents?
It's the overall umbrella is called speculative fiction. So that starts off with science fiction, fantasy, but that breaks down into epic fantasy, humorous fantasy. You've got pulp fiction. You've got, I guess I just finished going a whole thing on this where people ask, what can you submit? And so with the fantasy, you've got all of it. Yeah, it's like the whole hard science fiction, light science fiction. You've got humorous science fiction and fantasy. The steampunk, which was a big thing maybe 10 years ago. It started maybe half a dozen years before that with Writers of the Future. Those stories were being submitted, and then it became, so it tends to, because these aren't known authors, but they're the who the judges select as the best new writers, best new voices of science fiction and fantasy, you'll usually see as they build their careers 5 or 6 years later, that will be what you'll start reading in bookstores, what you'll find in bookstores, what these guys started off with. So it's pretty cool how that works like that. But it's basically, it's anything that's creative. You got storylines, you got man, meaning the broad term man, versus man versus machine, man versus the environment. That you can then build out others.
So what's it called? I think it was Jody that told me she liked this. Or was it somebody else? Now I can't remember. But anyway, when you're doing like right now or barely in the future, it's like I can't remember.
Well, you got near future science fiction, and that's so that's like a lot of mainstream writers will write near future science fiction, but they won't call it science fiction. That's like what like the Andromeda strain, that was written as like near future. It didn't happen. Who was the military? I just went blank on his name. He wrote the. He got endorsed by President. What's that? No. He died several years ago, but he wrote stuff about military fiction. But the science fiction, it was all using technology that wasn't out there, but it was being developed. So that's all science fiction, but they'll call it mainstream.
Because I know we were. I can't remember who I was talking to. My memory's going there. We ain't gonna see what it's going to. It's so we were talking about this because I was asking things about like Expanse. Would that be considered near time? Because basically it's just a short period in the future. And we were talking about. There's a couple of them we were talking about. I think I was talking with Jody Lynn about this. Matter of fact, I was, because I was really surprised at how much she liked sci-fi and stuff. I said, oh, damn, we're going to have to be better friends, man, because she was into a lot of stuff that I liked. Yeah. And but I do kind of like that near now, because it's like Babylon 5 is barely in the future. It's just how humans would be politically in the future from now. It's stuff like that I like, because
it was really close to the future. Wasn't it? I mean, it was only a couple years ahead of us.
It's but a lot of this stuff I'm talking about would probably be less than 100 years ahead of us. It's I like it for some reason. I don't know exactly why. It's just one of those things I like. It's what do you mean? What are you talking about, Carolyn? Reading what? No, I'm not reading. Look, I got to read enough schematic and stuff for work. I don't want to read anything that's going to make my brain go back and forth. I'd rather hear it, and then at least it can find its place where it needs to go. Well, it's like listening to Mission Earth. There's a lot of stuff in this. I mean, there's a lot of. To where I'm at right now, I don't know. I was listening to the actor list yesterday morning. There's a lot of actors. There's a lot of sound effect, a lot of actors, a lot of good acting going on in there. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of subtle stuff going on that you have to pay attention to. There's just little things here. Like, I'm not sure about his girlfriend yet.
Jetto's girlfriend?
No, not Countess Crack. What's his name's girlfriend? Sultan Grease's girlfriend, or whatever she is. And people, the guy. Never mind. We're not going to go there. But anyway, he got enhanced, and we'll leave it at that. I'm telling you, this last book should be the last half of the book should be porn. I'm just telling y'all. It's it was a lot of it was funny as hell. I'm not going to lie. It's some of the stuff that you go through. It's so far it's been really good. Like I said, the first book's a little slow because you got to get to kind of know who the hell Salt and Grease is, because you need to know who this freaky guy is, and then of course you got to know who Jet is and stuff like that. But anyway, all of that stuff you'll find. Yeah, you'll get to learn who all those people are. Yeah. But anyway, right now they were in some of them in New York, some of them in Turkey, and see, they move around all over our planet, and it doesn't start on our planet; it starts somewhere else, and then they come to our planet.
Because Mission Earth is a mission to keep Earth from destroying itself. It's satire, so it's being controlled by this. They just can't believe that a planet would allow itself to be controlled by one person, and it's in the book. It's a guy named Rocket Center,
and he plays closely to a lot of, I guess we'll say, famous people. It depends where you want to put the era of this.
Yeah.
Where you're looking. So, because it's up to you what age you want to put this in. Was it here? Well, there is one giveaway because they do mention the population of the planet one time. So far, I mean, I'm only, like I said, I'm just starting book 5, so there's just no telling what else is coming up. But so that kind of gives you an idea of what timing this is. And of course, some of the stuff that Salt and Grease kind of gives you an idea, because that shit would not go over today, man. He'd be socially corrected right out of the planet. Oh my God. Anyway, y'all just got to, when you can read the book. Now, we gave away a whole case last year, by the way.
We gave away a lot of books last year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But y'all can listen, and excuse me, we're going to give away some more this year, but I don't know when it's going to be available for audio. You'll have to ask the boss about that. But so far, I've been enjoying it, and it's not a short story. This isn't something you can just sit down. I mean, if you read it, you can probably read it pretty quick, maybe.
The audiobook's 122 hours long.
Yeah. So you got to dedicate yourself to it.
Almost 300 actors.
I'll be
just for volume 39, or is that for all 10?
That's for all 10 of the. No, that's not those. That's just for the Mission Earth he's talking about.
Yeah.
For volume 39, we have 3 voices. We had Jim Meskimen, his wife, Tamara Meskimen, and daughter Taylor Meskimen all recorded those 3 stories.
Yeah. So this would actually have to be like a trilogy if it ever went to movie world or something. But anyway, I don't want to get into it too much, but because I can only give y'all so much unless you buy the book. But there's a lot going on. I mean, there's just a lot going on. And even when it doesn't feel like there's anything going on, there's still some shit going on. Like, I have to say this. So he had 2 of these little kids' faces made up like stars from the 50s, 40s.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, really? And then the woman, anyway, y'all gotta read it yourself. Oh man. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun to read. He's constantly bugging people and shit. I mean, not like bugging them, aggravating, putting bugs in him and stuff. So he's watching what's going on. And the general guy spent, I think, the first 2 books in a whorehouse. So that was interesting in itself. It's
Who wrote this?
L. Ron Hubbard wrote this, and so far it's been most interesting. Is all I can tell you.
I mean, when it released originally the first book released in October 1985, all 10 books were New York Times bestsellers when it came out.
Yeah, it's a fun
all
story.
Over the TV in the 80s. I mean, every other week there was a new book coming out by him.
He's
got a lot of books out.
Yeah.
Well, guys, when the audio tape comes out, I mean, audio tape, there's no tape anymore, but when the audio comes out, I'm sure y'all be able to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
Oh no, when John releases, I'll be promoting it because I'm enjoying the story. I don't know how it ends. I haven't got there yet. And if you read the book, don't tell me. Okay. I don't want to know. It's I've been driving along because I was surprised the other day when he said he was in jail. I was like, wait, what happened here? What did I miss?
Yeah, that's how it starts. The whole thing starts where it's his confession that led up to his end up in jail. So that's the beginning of the thing. It's like, this is my confession, and he's writing this for so they don't just immediately kill him. Because he was, as you're seeing, he's not a nice person.
No, he's not. And then there's times, and I'm sure this is going to happen more often, where they don't think the planet he's on exists. It's just, what is it, Blitzo 3-2 or something?
Blitto P3.
Yeah, P3.
Which is their name for Earth. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's other stuff going on, and there's ships coming and going, and so there's just a lot of action in this, and you got to be. That's
why I wanted to talk to that one gal from Afyon, Turkey, because that's where it takes. That's
where it's at.
Right, and when you said that, or I checked on the internet, it said that that's one of the most reported areas of UFOs is in Turkey. I thought, okay, that was.
She's weird too because she never returned my text, and I know she was doing a tour over there because I think it was Daryl Sims was going over there. So I don't know. Maybe she's preoccupied. Usually, though, she returns my text. I thought that was kind of weird. I just wanted to kind of give her a heads up that you might text her. But we're talking about you. Oh, God, I forgot her name now. Yvonne. Oh, man. No, it's not Yvonne Smith. It is called age. No, it's called. Actually, my doctor said stop overtaxing my brain and stop putting bullshit in it I don't need. And I'm like, Doc, it's not a hard drive. Because I said, give me some drugs. And he said, you don't need no drugs. Because she did some kind of test. She said, your brain's fine. I said, no, it's not. She said, yeah, it is. She said, you got too much shit in there. And I was like, well, thank you, Doc.
There's only
that's
one
just how, no, that's just how she said it, too. I was like,
in those cases, there's only one true test of scientific test that says you have a solid brain. This is the test right here.
Yes,
I passed.
Right. That's right. That's right.
I didn't even know that. I'm telling you, John.
Sean's going to shave his head.
I have learned so much from these gentlemen right
Oh,
here.
man.
I learned something new. I didn't know this damn thing tells me I got a solid brain and shit. Come on, dude. I mean,
why do you think all the abbots have this part exposed? All this is always bare on bishops and abbots. This is where the smart parts are.
That's probably where the aliens shaved my head. And
it might be when they probe you
right there in the head. Yeah.
Actually, no, Sally. He's on Monday at 4. Yeah, you can catch him at 4:00 on Mondays. I mean, everything's archived. You can catch it. He's on Tuesday at 8. He's on Friday at 7. So it's Friday at 7, Tuesday at 8, Monday at 4, and then wherever the hell I happen to be at when I'm around. Well, I haven't been doing as many shows as I usually have. Been busy. It's called making a living, people. If y'all been donate more money to the station, I wouldn't have to do all this other stuff. I'm just saying, man. Be sure y'all go out and get one of these. I'd like y'all to buy a couple of these. They're nice and make great Christmas presents, especially if you've got kids. See, I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to bring home sets like these. God knows there'd be all kinds of stories in them and stuff. And I would love that. I'd get in and start reading them. Actually, I was a big reader.
Sold quite a few. We sold quite a few of those in Salt Lake City at FanX. And parents says, my kid's getting into reading. What do you recommend? And so they got those because those are good for middle school on up. So we sold multiple sets of those from parents wanting it for their kids.
Yeah, I've been telling people. I said they're great. They're great sets. People enjoy them, use them, read them, and don't forget. I mean, as kids grow up, you can keep them for your kids. Give them to somebody in your family, or just keep them around on the shelf in case you want to read them again. Well, I mean, a lot of these. Yeah.
And John, you got 10 volumes there and 159 stories. So what does that break down to? About 15, 16 stories per book?
Yeah.
And then how about what about the artwork? How much artwork are we talking? Because some of that artwork is fantastic stuff.
Yeah, each story has its own illustration.
Several, more than one at least, right?
Yeah, so 159 stories is 159 pieces of art.
I'm telling you what, the art is great, man. The art is beautiful.
I know I've pulled these books out before and showed you. There's a lot of artwork in there. Well, when Tom Wood was on just last week, we had some of the artwork put out. Of course, we talked a lot about the float too last week. So so we got into that a lot. But well, he did the cover, guys. That's who we were talking about. Yeah, he did the cover of this one. Oh, y'all gonna make me pull it down.
He did the Fire Dragon. That was really cool.
I don't have one already.
Here, I got one here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, he did the cover
from North.
Exactly. How do I reverse it? This is backwards.
Oh, I see it. It's normal.
It's coming normal on ours. You can also hit mirror my camera.
Yeah, but it's normal on ours, so that's all.
Okay, good. All right, good. Yes, that's a painting that Tom Wood did.
That's awesome art. He was a cool dude.
Tom's a good guy. He's a lot of fun to talk to.
You're a good dude, man.
He's
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Tom's a nice guy. No, Echo Chernick is the boss when it comes to the illustrators. Yes.
Yeah, she's the coordinating judge for the illustrator contest.
She's the queen bee, buddy. Just know that ahead of time. If y'all win as an artist, she's the queen bee. I'm just telling you. Don't mess with her either. She's
Who's that, Joe? Who's that?
She's been on the show before. Echo Chernick. She's her husband was just on not too long ago. Lazarus Black was on with us. He has a new book out, which somewhere is not around me at the moment. But she is the boss. What I mean by that is she is very pointed in the way she deals with stuff. But that's not her personality. That's just how she is with the people.
Do you see that here? No, that's not.
I blurred out as soon as you got up too close. Wait. Oh, no. It's but anyway, y'all can find her. She's done several archives with me, and she's a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of stuff. We look at a lot of her naughty artwork, by the way. So y'all might want to go check that out. Matter of fact, we were doing hers.
What's on your mind tonight, dude?
we were doing hers and Larry Elmore's. Well, I'm not the one painting naughty artwork. What are you talking? Blame it on me.
Yeah, you're the ones having fun with it.
Well, no, they requested, so we talk about it. It's because Echo and I, the first time she came on, we were going to actually do the show on that, and then I don't know what happened. We got into something else, and we started looking through our artworks, and we never got to it. So we started it out with this one, and she knows, her and Larry both know I'm a freak about oils. I just like oils. I don't know, maybe it's the way I grew up because we didn't have any non-oils in our house. Every picture hanging on our walls, even the little ones, were oils. My mom, I guess, was a bigger freak about it too, and my dad, somebody was. I don't know which one it was, but every picture hanging around our house was an oil. And I got used to seeing it, but more so, I got used to feeling them. And what do you mean? I can't afford to put oils in my house, man. Have you seen the pictures on my walls? Oh God, no! I'd have to sell the house.
You know what the humidity down in the bayou does to an oil painting?
Oh
Jeez.
Man, I mean, we got beautiful pictures on our walls, but. No, we don't have. We have painted pictures, but they're canvas pictures. They're not the same as oils. Well, we do have a magnolia oil in the house. Yeah. So it's in this office. All there is the stuff behind me, and then other walls are all old stuff from different places. Yes, because I use different parts of the studio from time to time. John said y'all can stop and buy him some fish and chips, man. Yeah. Don't get you no ranky, greasy shit either. Come on, y'all. I know y'all know the good places.
And a proper 20-ounce pint. None of this 16-ounce American crap.
Last time he seen me, I put 5 pounds on his butt. Put 10 on his wife's. She probably had to go work out for a week. No, man.
Yeah, you took us to what was that pastry place you took us to that has the
the beignets? I took him to morning call. And morning call is just some French pastries is all it is. Be square dough. Throw some powdered sugar on it, eat them. No, the good stuff was that Dragos and that Impastados. That's where the good food is. No, the really good food is downtown at like the Quarter Two Sisters or Antoine's, where all the vampires live and stuff like that. According to Ann Rice, Antoine's is the same owner over the last 150 years. And if you walk down the aisle with all the pictures of different owners, they all look the same. They all look about the same age, and they all look the same. Yeah, so she says it's all the same person. He just changes IDs from time to time. Hey, that's, what do I know about vampires? I don't go down there chasing them. I leave them suckers alone. We'll send John down there. And then John and Jack can go vampire chasing. You forget that. Oh, man.
I want to interview one. Joe.
Well, he's going to be in Europe. There's vampires over there in Europe.
It's vampire country, yeah.
In New Orleans.
Yes.
I'd rather do the ones in New Orleans.
No, I can get you. I don't know if I still can, but I might be able to get you an interview with a vampire in New Orleans. You know what? I'll ask. Look on our thing. Her name is Aline Pistanio, and she knows some vampires down here and some necromancers and stuff. I don't like them people, so I've been to the vampire ball, and so Ann Rice's ball. I don't know if they're going to do it anymore. She's gone. Yeah, so we'll have to find out.
When I was in college in Savannah, we had a vampire. He was a really neat dude. He worked in the 7-Eleven in downtown Savannah, Georgia during the day. And then when the store or whenever his shift was over 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, he dressed up like a proper vampire and walked around the streets all night long.
Oh, Lord. He'd probably get mugged down here. He probably would. What do you mean? What are you talking about? So you from the UK? You're from London. So what are you talking about? Pubs have the best fish and chips? Well, down here, a lot of the bars have really good food. See, in Louisiana, it's against law for them to serve alcohol if they don't serve food anymore. So
on Sunday.
On any day. You can't. You got to have food.
Oh, really?
The bars have to have food.
It's on Sunday. In order for the bar to be open on Sunday, they have to serve 50% or more of their ticket every Sunday of food. Yeah, or they can't sell beer.
So usually what would happen about 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 a.m. and on, people would just be filtering through getting something to eat. Oh, yeah, they had a place called Gino's Speakeasy. They had the best poop I ever freaking ate, probably because I was drunk every time I ate one.
If anybody knows a place by I'll be around Piccadilly Station area. So if anybody knows a good fish and chips place, because I'm scheduling some meetings. And if anybody knows any good there, let me know.
There you go. Oh, I didn't even realize what I typed up there. Happy, crazy Canadian Thanksgiving. Oh, I hate
Thanks,
autocorrect.
grieving. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I was like, what
I
the
hate
hell?
autocorrect. I really do hate autocorrect. That's why I hate it. You mean what I'm writing? Oh no, I'm writing something about something that went on in Gulf Breeze, Florida. Jesus, 40 years ago. hmm I'll
I
I'll,
was around
fin-
then.
I'll
I
finish
remember
it
that.
eventually because I want to torture his wife. That's why I'll finish it eventually. It's
Now, John, whenever you see books that are in bookstores, right?
Yeah.
And you say, I know that guy, or you know what I mean? How does it make you feel when you see what writers of the future, these guys that you, and
mm,
ladies, that you just worked with and see their books out there in like in Noble's books or whatever? How's that feel?
It feels good because it's what we're doing with it with this competition is really seeding the future of science fiction and fantasy, and it's a lot of work goes into it. A lot of the staff here work a lot to make this go.
they do too.
And what's good is the actual result is when you see these people actually have their success. And like there's a guy named Patrick Rothfuss that his first book came out, hit New York Times, and he said in there in the intro of his first book, I can honestly say I would not be where I am right now without Writers of the Future. So we've got people like him. Orson Scott Card and his book on writing says enter Writers of the Future. We've now made that cut in people because it's been 40 years. Um, it's a real sense of accomplishment that I feel for what Mr. Hubbard set out to do, and then what we're at the office are doing to create a future of science fiction and fantasy. Because it's middle school, we tend to go towards not a pessimistic but an optimistic future. It's like
Yeah,
if it is something that's dystopian, it's a very clear lesson of what we don't want to have happen.
right.
So
Yeah, it's a morality play. Yeah.
yeah, so we have something here so that the guy can learn better, he can do better, things can come out okay, even when it's all looks darkest, you can still pull it off. And sometimes there's just fun stories, like Jody likes writing her humorous science fiction, but it's really good at like conventions when I walk around and I'll see people that I know, say hello to them. They come by and say hello, say, I won volume 7, I was volume this. And now that because we got this acceptance for the contest, we've got the owners of the conventions getting us more spaces that's for free that we can use to invite the winners to come there and sign books. It just shows a sign of the competition continuing to grow and the acceptance. So I really like that a lot.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to
another
throw
aspect
this.
you can consider is the fact that where we are technologically, some of the stuff that's coming out in these books isn't going to be science fiction eventually. It's going to be science fact. And
Yeah.
think about it. If we're like Star Trek era or Star Wars era, nobody really wants to read, a historical OK Corral history. They don't want to read about the Western times. They need something that's current. So I mean, at some point it's going to be current events. Science fiction will be current events.
So, okay, now I like what you said about get the movie The OK Corral, right? Right, the book OK Corral, and just take it from the way it was written, but put it scientific, science fiction.
Science fiction.
Yeah.
Who's done that? Star Trek did that.
Star Trek did that. Yeah, Star Trek definitely did that. And it's just, it's you got this this movie that made a little bit of money a couple of years ago with these blue people, And,
Yes. Avatar.
Avatar.
Yep, you got Avatar. It's a Western. They just took a Western and they made it.
Cowboys and Indians.
So
The Nauvoo were the Indians, and the Cowboys were these Bonnie Ribisi and all those guys coming in that were trying to attack them.
So listeners, these guys probably already know this, but for y'all listeners, so there's a little secret about Star Trek, the original series. It was a Western. Matter of fact, the guy who wrote it, Gene Roddenberry, just before he started writing Star Trek, was writing country and westerns. So basically that's what. And when you really pay attention to Star Trek, that's what it is. It teaches a lesson.
I'm going to geek out right now. So in the original series, they did say it was like they wanted to. Gene Roddenberry said it was like a wagon train to the stars, and they used to have these things called phaser guns, and they had this special suede holster that they put them on, and it was made to look like a cowboy. God. Well, it's not really that well, but you guys remember this from the show?
I remember.
Yeah.
Rick wore this around his belt with a phaser and a communicator on it. It was made to look like the old fast draw rigs that the Cowboys wore.
Well, he had fairly decent success with writing with that. All right.
Yeah, man. He was pretty good.
I got to look what time it is. I can't keep John up real late. Emily will hurt me. Well, it's early.
But here's a piece of fact too. Like, Westerns were originally called horse operas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Those are horse operas. And when space opera started, it was a takeoff because it was Westerns put into space. So it was called space opera. So if you look up horse opera.
Well, that's exactly what Serenity is. So
yeah.
Serenity is very Western. All the guns are slung low on the hip.
Jackie, Serenity.
They're both. They're spaceship. If you look at it from the side, it looks like a horse.
It does. I never paid attention. Jackie, no, Serenity, there's a movie and there's 12 episodes.
It looks like a horse from the side.
Yeah.
It's got 4 legs, 4 pods, and like a long snout on front where they sit. It's a horse.
Yeah. It got canceled in its first season. The movie's not bad. And there is 12 I think it's 12 episodes, either 12 or 14, but
13 episodes, but only 10 made it to air. 3 never made it on air.
So you can go watch them and check them out. It's a fun. Matter of fact, the guy who went into Newcastle was his next series and did really well with it.
Nathan Fillion.
So he did well with it. And yes, it's Quantum Leap. So we can put John in Quantum Leap. I think John would make a better actor than the guy that got in it now. Jesus, this guy he's all right.
Well,
he's not old enough for the part. Dude. Well, no, he's not old enough for the part. He just needs to
put you in the penthouse next time you go out there for the part.
Yes, no, he's rough on me, people. He treats me harsh when I'm out there. Y'all just don't know.
Hell no, man.
He makes me work and shit.
Poor guy. No, I'm not the one who does that. That's
no, I know it's not him either. The last time it was time before last it was Sarah, and then Sarah again, and then I can't think of his name right now. And he put me to work, and then I got to watch him leave, but she'll put your ass to work too. And they workaholics. That's why. Oh yeah, the whole bunch of them are. If you win and you get out there, you'll find it. Unless you're like a Hollywood star and you're 10, then you need to write to Mr. Goodwin. That's a whole different thing. But the other way you're getting out of there is to win. They got a good group of people. Everybody I've worked with or talked to over there is good people. Well, it doesn't matter which group they're out of. They're just good people. Plus, so far I've asked a lot of impertinent questions, and nobody from the group that works. I'm talking about the people who work, not the winners, not the judges. So far, none of them have backed down from a question. And I can be a pain in the ass sometimes when I ask questions. Janice, no, I ask them hard questions. I don't have to now because I harassed them the first 2 years, but I'm just saying I've done a lot of investigation work in my time, and usually when I walk into something like this and I start asking questions off the cuff, out of the blue, something you're not expecting, most people will hem and haw or pause. It'll be like, I'll say, well, how old are you? And they're like, well, now you notice is a question that should come right out of their mouth because it's simple. How old are you? You should be saying I'm 35. But that's not how it is. So in this case, it didn't matter what I asked, whether it was with Galaxy Press or Arthur Services, they answered the question, and they weren't being coached. Nobody was around with them. No, nobody was chaperoning or anything like that. Because I just walk up, poor believer. I just walk up in the middle of them and just start asking questions. Be like, damn, don't you ever stop? And you always got to be asking questions.
Well, I met you originally through Jimmy Mars.
Yeah.
He was
him too.
He was one of our spokespeople. He was a spokesperson for Battlefield Earth. He did a lot of media for us. He wrote articles for us. He was He loved L. Ron Hubbard's writings.
Oh, yeah.
He'd read his stuff when he was growing up as a kid in the pulps, and then when he read Battlefield Earth, he said that was just awesome. He did a whole thing on that. So he became our national spokesperson for Battlefield Earth when we came out with the campaign in 2016.
Yeah,
That's how I met you. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss him. I wish he was still around.
Yeah.
Chrissy's talking about Jim Mars. He said Jimmy, yeah. So, but yeah, it's Jim Mars is who he's talking about. The renowned ufologist, yes. Jim Mars was great. Jim Mars was just not a ufologist. Him and I talked politics. Matter of fact, he wrote the not Century. It was about the Kennedy assassination. Anyway,
Yeah, he wrote that book, which the movie was made from.
Yeah, so him and I got into an in-depth discussion, and Jim and I policies aren't that far apart on politics. So we got into this book. I mean, we got into this, and this was insane how much information was in here. I mean, it was just insane. Jim was one of them researchers that he just couldn't leave nothing uncovered. And a lot, we worked on joint projects together and other stuff, and you asked him to do something, it was done. I just miss him because it's rare to find people like that to work with, and he's just, he's passed now, but he was a hell of a researcher. He was a hell of a guy all the way around, and he was a good writer. He was just fun to deal with. No, I'm sure he aggravated some because we got together one night and decided who was a good ufologist, who was the bad one. So I'm sure we pissed people off oh man, I have no doubt we hacked some people off. Well, no, he wasn't scared. That's one of the reasons I liked him. He wasn't scared to write what he was going to write. He wasn't scared to say what he was going to say, and he wasn't going to back down from his opinions. And it's one of the reasons I liked him. Whether we agreed or disagreed, because sometimes we disagreed, he wasn't going to back down from his opinions. It's one of the things I liked about the guy. We had many heated discussions on the radio. Many. Yes. Yes. I told him you're going to get probed by an alien if you don't stop. That's how So anyway, but he was a good guy. So if you don't, we've done lots of lots of archives with him, lots of shows. So but not just us. He was on anybody who was doing that kind of radio. You could probably find an interview with him. Yes.
But that's how I met you. Was originally the first show I did with you was when I came on talking about, because he had just passed. So I was going around because I'd spent quite some time with him the last couple of months, and we were actually working with him to try to handle his health. And we had him coming to specialists in Los Angeles and setting him up to get through. And he was making headway in one, and then he got hit with something else, and just boom went, and that was it. Yeah.
Yes, because somebody had asked me, they wanted to buy it. I have his last two shows. I've got this unique thing. We've got on the network about 50 shows that are people's last shows they've ever done. And I kind of got the feeling sometimes like maybe we were a freaking jinx or something. What's his name from the Queen Mary? We got his last two shows. We had Jim Mars' last two shows. We got Stanton Friedman's last two shows. It was just because we were doing so many shows. I guess I don't want to call it lucky, but we end up getting their last words, which is interesting. I keep them. I actually keep those shows off the archives. And yes, Johnny, they're actually for sale. Well, right now they're not, but they will be again. They will be on the Roku system for sale in about a month. Yes, you can get them there. And the Travis Walton set, the 5 set that usually is up for sale, it'll be up for Roku on sale too. You'll be able to get it.
Did he pass?
No.
He's around.
No,
okay.
we had done about 10 years ago. Somehow or another, he got booked across 5 really good hosts. And some of the really good ufologist hosts, and I don't know how it happened. So we had a meeting to discuss to make sure none of us asked him any question that he'd been asked before, and no questions that we were asking in the interview. So I did the last interview to make it fair to the other 4 hosts because I was going to find questions anyway. And those were really good shows. I mean, he was floored. I mean, no one had talked to him like that before. No one had asked those kind of questions. He didn't know what to think. I mean, when we got in the last interview and I said, did you know there was somebody else in the mountain with you that night? Did you ever stop and think they were actually looking for you? It wasn't an accident. He like to fell out the freaking chair. He didn't even know how to deal with it. He was kind of like, and we got into some in-depth stuff, and he was like, because we found out there was an FBI agent on the hill that night when all this happened. And then when I started asking him questions about, when you seen the 2 people in the suit, were they telepathic or were they speaking? He said they were speaking. And I asked him a couple of more questions. I said, that sounds like somebody from the CDC doing cleanup control, seeing if there's any contaminants or anything like that. And he said he got the distinct feeling that's what it was. So, and remember, people, if you've watched the movie Find the Sky, only about 40% of the movie is accurate. Yes, the rest of it's not. So,
Yeah, and you
He
know
goes
what
to
was something about that movie with him was that he really didn't like the way it was,
no, he didn't.
filmed. He hated it because
Yeah, but it was nothing he could do about it. That's what happens when you sell your rights to movies and stuff. They wanted to make it exciting, so they added in stuff that wouldn't be there. John was
we
in
actually
that one
talked about
too.
this on Sean's show the other night.
Yes,
Yep.
I know. Yeah, no, Janine John was in the movie. Yes. He was the guy dragging him down the hallway, the thing with the big alien head and shit. That was him.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what is a costume? All right, maybe it was Emily, but still. No, no, I don't pick on Emily anymore. I gave her a sword. I gotta be nice to her, man.
Exactly. You better be
I
nice
could
to her.
get cut up. Was it
Mhm.
who we got up here? Frankfurt. Yeah, y'all all right. Frankfurt, no questions. Rinzi who? That looks a lot like Leah. So who are you? And what question do you have? Oh, okay, then that's cool. Your name looked. Anyway, we're not going to go there. But your name looks suspicious. What? No, it just did. I'm sorry. There's nothing you need to know about, but it just looked suspicious. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. They were asking how long is a flight going into Frankfurt from here? He's flying from Cali.
14
Yeah.
hours.
I think it's it might be that 13.
Because I know Linda looked up the flight to China. It's like 18, and that's
18?
yeah. I don't know where she looks.
It's only a 12-hour flight because Paul left from San Francisco.
Well, no, that's what I said. I don't know where she asked because China's a big country. So was it Beijing? Was it Hong Kong? Was it Singapore? It all depends what part of the country you were in to how long it's going to take. It's like the U.S. I mean, it's 6 hours, 4 hours across our country. So it depends where you're at when you fly. Hey, Emily. No. What do you mean a mug? Oh, a pint. Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't make sense when you first posted it up there. No, he only drinks high dollar liquor, people. You better have some. You better. No, I'm serious.
No.
You better have some of that Van Winkle out when you see John.
Do you drink Guinness, John?
I do.
Okay.
I
you know
also like wheat beer too.
Good. You ever try the cider over there?
I have not.
Oh my God, it's pretty decent. Not a lot of alcohol in it, but it's very, very good. But
Honestly, I'm not that big on having to have alcohol these days, so that'd be good.
Okay. If
Yes.
you do a Guinness, my experience was if it's room temperature, it's really good.
The Van Winkle, $5,000 a shot. That's what the man wants. I'm gonna get these people trained. Yeah, John, takes a little effort.
And
Yes,
Sean,
yes,
on the Guinness
He said he would like a manicure while he's waiting on his shot too.
on the Guinness front, Sean, that room temperature advice is really relative because in a pub in
Kentucky
Ireland, the room temperature of the pub is probably like 32 degrees.
Drink
Oh, shit. Okay, we're gonna leave that room temperature.
Different animal altogether over there.
My people are from down south in Galway and shit, so
Yeah.
it's kind of one down there, right?
It's,
Not up on the northern part of freaking Ireland,
actually, no, guys, I'm on this whatchamacallit kick, this whiskey sour kick. Yes,
Joe,
that girl in
was- that was-
Atlanta who made that one for me, that is the best whiskey sour I've ever had. I
Joe,
wish I could get how she
Whiskey
made it.
Sours was back in the 70s, my friend.
I like whiskey sour. I can do what the hell I want.
The key is in the pricking the white whiskey and making your own simple syrup. If
So I hate to get into this subject.
Try it, it's too sweet, then you have to make your own.
Well, I don't know. I've had several. I had a couple when I was out in LA. One was for $50. I like they had a heart attack. Then somehow I got it for free, so we're not going to go there. Tom and them were with me. They were laughing their asses. And anyway, I don't know, people. No. So, all right, real fast. So I'm sitting there. We were at the Roosevelt. We went to go see, we walked in and there was a burlesque show going on. So we stopped. I'm with a bunch of illustrator judges. Of course, they're going to stop and look. I mean, there's no doubt. So we stop and look, and so I ordered a drink. I said, I want a whiskey sour. She comes by. She says $50. I set my card down on the bar. And I said, I really feel like I should get something extra with this drink. I didn't say anything bad or nasty. And Echo liked to pee, so she was laughing so hard. Anyway, I said, okay, well, it's right there when you're ready for it. And then it sat there for like 20 minutes while we were watching. So I picked it up, put it back in my pocket. Never charged me for it. And it was a good drink. But the one in Atlanta, I don't know how this girl made it, because the other girl made me one. It was nasty compared to the one the blackhead chick made. It was just good. I mean, it wasn't too sweet. It wasn't too sour. It had some kind of red shit in it, which I thought was grenadine or something. But it was good. And I hope I can find some more like that. And that's a good drink. And no, I don't want the big round ice cubes or the big square ice cubes. I want regular freaking ice cubes, people. Damn. That's John's fault, too. Everything's being blamed on John tonight. Yes.
Well, as long as they enter the contest, I'm fine. I'll take all the blame.
Right.
Just enter the contest.
Enter and win. Don't just enter and win.
Just enter. Can't win if you don't enter.
No. So, we went through this a couple of weeks ago. I forgot who was on. There's nothing. There's no way I can help you. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do for you. It's not like I can go up and bribe anybody or anything like that. No, it's not going to happen.
Now, can anybody come off the street, John, and just sit down and somehow, say like me, if I decided to go to the Writers of the Future convention, is there anything for me to do there while you're working with the other artists and illustrators?
No, it's a closed event, even more so we've got the biggest names, like said in science fiction and fantasy, that are there as judges. So
yes, they
are. We're always really good with security. We're in Hollywood, so it's also, for all the quote unquote glamour, it's also the land of nuts and fruits. So you've got.
Yeah, there's a lot of those around.
We're really keen on security.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I told you have to win to be part. Now you can go see them at Dragon Con or FanX, and they've always got a lot of writers there with them or illustrators there. So a lot of the people who have won or past winners sometimes will be at there, and a lot of times, like Jody Lynn, she was there. She wasn't there with them; she was there with herself. But I mean, you can catch a lot of them, and there's a lot of them around. So then you can see them all you want. But this, no, they don't. They give me hell about even talking about it too much. Oh yeah. Every now and then, Joni will smack me in the back of the head. I heard that. Back. I'm like, Joni, come on. I'm your favorite. Back. And there's another slap. But it's only fair because I like to pick on it a little bit, because if someone listens and they hear, it gives them an idea of what they might expect, and it may even make them want to do it a little bit more. Because it's not like it's horrible. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Yeah.
If you win and you get to go, they're going to bust your ass the entire time you're there. But you're going to. I can't stress you the amount of information you're going to leave with. If you're an author or an illustrator, this is the place you want to be.
Get that if you open your mouth and a fire hose gets stuck to it.
It's just these people are serious. They're very nice. The judges put up with all kind of shenanigans. Shit, they invite you to lunch and shit. You're just not going to get this kind of treatment with these kind of names anywhere else. I mean, everybody who was there that I've met all got credits to them. A couple even got movies to their credit. So it's, these are just not people you're just going to wander into walking down the street, and they're not going to be willing to help you either. Here, they're willing to help you.
Yep.
And they're gifted, talented individuals. And they don't mind you bugging them. I'd already been saying, leave me alone, people. Jesus. No, y'all know I'll put up with anything because I do conferences, but it's no, they're real nice, and like at the barbecue, everybody gets together and chit chats. There's a lot of talking gets going on there. There's a lot of talking all the time.
We do our live show as well.
Yes,
you've seen that, a live theater production. In fact, just this last weekend, Emily and I were at a film festival, and we were there with the CEO of the Edgar Rice Burroughs Foundation, and I met several of his grandchildren, Edgar Rice Burroughs' grandchildren. It's in Tarzana, which is named after Tarzan, that was a big property that Edgar Rice Burroughs owned. But also, one of the presenters was Bruce Boxleitner, who's been you'll recognize him. He
Babylon
was
5.
Yeah, he was Captain Babylon 5, and he was in Tron, his main dude in the first Tron. He reprised in second Tron. So he's also in several of our shows. So we talked to him about coming back, and he said, I love those things. So him along with Martin Cove, the guy from Cobra Kai and from
Yes.
Karate Kid. So he's done a lot of the shows too. So hopefully we'll be able to get them to come back next April when we have our awards week and help perform in the show. And Bruce said, "Well, if I'm not filming, then yeah, I'd love to come there." So hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah, wasn't Bruce married to one of the Little House in the Prairie?
Yeah,
people?
not anymore, but he was. Yeah,
He was. Yeah, I knew they would split, but yeah, he was in Tron. He was in both Trons.
Yeah, and he's got a Western coming out this fall, a Western series that he starred in. But his wife's a total sweetheart. She was just. They're both just. He was so happy. She was so happy. It was
now
great.
Well, who's the Johnny Depp wannabe guy? Oh man, I liked him. Him and his wife were really nice. He took over for him when he was on the TV series. Damn, I lied. See, this is bullshit with this name stuff, man. I was never good with names to start off with. I mean, no, in all fairness, I was never good with names. Faces, yes, names. But no, he even dressed like Johnny Depp. He came. I seen him 2 years there. He's got the tall blonde wife. He took over for Johnny Depp when he left. What was it? 90210, whatever the hell series it was.
21 Jump Street, probably.
Yeah. He you introduced me to him. John's the one that introduced me to him. I can't.
Is it one of the DeLuise boys? Dom
Yeah,
DeLuise's sons?
But he looked just like Johnny Depp. I mean, he looked just
No,
like him.
no, he don't look like Johnny Depp. No.
Oh no, the guy he introduced me to looked just like him. He was all decked out like him when he came to the gala event. Because I kind of, when I first caught him getting out the limo, I said, "Is that Johnny?" And I was like, "Nah." And I said, "Well, that's not Amber Turd." So
no, in the 90s in our college, I looked like Johnny Depp because I was starving, skinny, and drunk.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
And you had hair too, right?
And I had a lot of hair back then.
No, yes, I remember them skinny days. That was a long time ago. So we're not going to talk about that. I'm 255 right now. So,
whoa.
I got weighed at 195 at the urgent care the other day. That was wonderful.
289 here.
What was that?
289.
I'd gotten up to 270, and then I said, "The hell with this, man! I got to get some weight off of me." I have expensive clothes. It's bitches have to get to keep buying clothes because you keep getting fat. It just doesn't work. What was that, Denise? No, he's talking about Bruce Boxleiter from Babylon. Yeah, that's who he was talking about. Bruce, yeah. I've ran into Bruce at 2 different conferences. He was really nice both times. I mean, I didn't like hero worship. I am a big fan of Babylon, but I didn't hero worship. I'm a fan of Tron too, but it's I liked Babylon because it was more like how we're going to be in the future. It's, matter of fact, pretty close to how we're going to treat aliens and shit. It's going to be, anyway, we're not going to go there. It's a whole nother show, but we were just talking about, I like near future science fiction. I just do it. It gives me a sense of what might be coming in near time, you know. Like when I used to watch stuff as a kid, there was a lot of stuff that is actually come to be now. It's stuff, technologies we use, stuff we got. I mean, yes, we're missing like flying cars, and my George Jetson car is still not here, and I'm still pissed about that. But other things have come to pass. And I mean, everybody owns a 70-inch TV in their house. I mean, you get your own damn entertainment system now. You don't need to go to a freaking movie anymore. No, there's just a lot of stuff that's come to be. Look, it's galaxypress.com if you want to buy something. Writersofthefuture.com if you want to. Yeah, he gives me $1. He gives me $1 every time I say that. What are you talking about? No. But I do know the address is writersofthefuture.com and galaxypress.com. Yes. And you can submit, or you can buy, or you can do both. But I suggest you go to uprn.com and buy this one right here and get the discount, people. Get the discount. Besides, you'll make me some brownie points with Maliva. She's tough, people. Y'all just don't know. Jesus. That girl is tough. No, she's a sweetheart. No, she really is. I mean, I really like Maliva. She's a workaholic, too. All of them are. Shit took me 2 years to learn her damn name. I think I'm kidding. I'm being serious. Oh, no. No, they all like to have strange names over there.
Yeah, John's pretty strange.
John's got a really strange name. And Emily, oh my God.
My full name is John. I just go by my first initial.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. No, you didn't see her tonight, but she's with him a lot. Emily's his wife. Yeah, I like to pick on her, but that's she's number 2 over there, and she like I said earlier, like I said, when she's like the top you pull and spins, that's her, man. That girl.
Yeah, she's actually next to me, but she's working on the submission for the next budget for
Yeah,
Rise of
thank
Peace.
God she can't hear because I'd be in trouble.
You definitely would be.
I stay in trouble with her. No, again, guys, you can't. Okay, first off, doesn't matter anyway because they never tell me what hotel they're at, so I couldn't help you anyhow. Yes, and it's not like it's on a key mark anymore or built on a marquee anywhere. So, no, and you can't come to the gala for sure. There's security there. I'm just, you have to win. Just submit, and you might get runner up. You might get honorable mention. These judges really want to help you. Just submit some decent sci-fi. Well, no, Kim, just because you write it fast don't mean it's not going to be good. I know quite a few writers that can write fast.
Exactly. Like I said, pretty much every 24-hour story that these guys write during the workshop week, sell it to a professional market.
Wow.
So speed, slow or fast, it's the quality of the writing. So there's been several instances too where people have been submitting for years, and finally, the last day of the contest year, they then write their story, submit it, and that's the one that wins. It was written that one day, so you can definitely do that.
Didn't we have a guest on, Joe, one time that did that?
Yeah, I forgot who it was, but I know, Carol. It's
that was Wolf Moon did that. Wolf Moon.
Oh, it might have been because Wolf's been on just recently. Which I got to get Wolf back on. His show was so messed up.
Yeah.
17,000 max words you can do. I mean, a lot of them seem to finish out around 7,000 to 9,000 words. Yes, unfortunately, I don't know why I know these stats. It's talking to the judges too much.
Isn't the limit for words 7,000?
What's that?
Wait, what?
Isn't the word limit 7,000?
17,000.
17. Oh, yeah, okay.
17,
that was close.
Well, Emily, you need to submit it. Stop talking smack. Submit that damn thing. I'd like to see you out there. No, 17,000. No, we had this discussion just recently with a couple of different authors that were on. No, 17,000 is not a novel. I don't even think it's a novelette, actually.
No.
It's, yeah, see, I shouldn't even know these things. See, I'm nerding out, people. No. I should not know these things.
What is the number of words for a complete novel?
100,000 or more.
Yeah.
Oh, smokes.
See, and I shouldn't know that either.
Yeah.
It's his fault. I'm blaming his ass for this. When we go to the other side, I'm blaming John. When we cross over, they said, "Why'd you geek out?" I said, "You didn't know that guy John Go when you got here. It's his fault." No, really, people. But that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If I pick up a lot of stuff, and I'm not part of that, I am, and sometimes I'm in the classes, and I'm listening. Sometimes it's just discussions after. There's this thing called BarCon, which you get a lot of information there for free as well too. Well, no, don't think everybody's drinking. So sometimes after everything's over, everybody will sit down in the bar downstairs in the lobby downstairs. Sometimes they're eating, sometimes they're drinking soft drinks, sometimes they're drinking alcohol, but everybody's down there talking. And the last 3 years, I've kind of played like a conduit because I've noticed, I keep wanting to call them students, but I've noticed winners kind of staring at judges, but didn't quite want to walk over. So I just grab them and walk them and drop them right in the middle of the judge. No, it works good because the judges are there. That's what the judges are there for. They want to talk to them. I always ask the judges first anyway, but they want to talk to them because I was talking with Kevin J. Anderson and Dean Leslie Smith last year, and they were having a pretty conversation. It was well, anyway, we're not going to get into what the conversation was about, but it's not something that, it's an open conversation. So I asked him, I said, I see these four have been staring at y'all for a while. And he said, okay, we'll finish this up, which they were wrapping up. And I will tell you, it was about the drummer of the lead singer of Rush. That's all I'll tell y'all. But they all came over, sat down, and man, they were gone. That was it for the next 2 hours. I mean, it was like 2:00 in the morning when I went upstairs. And they were crossing all kind of stuff. Then people were asking questions, and these guys were eating it up. And when they're tired, they say, okay, we got to go to bed. And no hard feelings. Everything is the way it is. It's a good thing if you can get there, people, but you got to win.
Yep.
Emily has a couple questions, Joe.
Go ahead, Emily. What you got, baby? Read them out there.
I have had 2 deadlines for my book and missed both. Do writers get too picky? Or is this some kind of anxiety releasing your first book? Is this normal for a first book?
It's missing deadlines is not uncommon at all. The one of the good things about Writers of the Future is that authors will learn to write to a deadline, because that's something that a person needs to learn how to do, especially as they get professional. So that I need to write a story and submit by the end of the quarter. So that's a good thing to do. But in terms of when a story is done, you have to know when it's, I mean, you can keep them aside. Like if you talk to somebody like Dean Wesley Smith, he writes a story and he's done with it. He doesn't go into rewriting, because it makes it, it's like when you polish a stone. It starts off with a rock and it's unique. It's very, you got the edges and all these different things that make that rock different from other rocks. You keep on polishing, it ends up looking like any other polished rock. So that's the downside of multiple revisions. It gets more and more and more polished, but it loses its uniqueness. So that's where getting a good copy editor to help you at that point comes into play, to make sure you're true to your story, but you don't get rid of what makes it your story as compared to just another story.
There's lots of writers groups out there that you can share your stories with too.
Yeah, Writers of the Future has a forum that you can join for free, and there's a lot of writers that would be totally willing. These are winners and judges that are willing to help you with ideas and tips. Plus, we have the free online workshop that we offer too.
Besides, biggest piece of advice: don't give it to your family to read, because they're gonna lie to you. It's just, it's great. No, you see, you can't trust that it's great, or you can't trust that it's horrible. You just got to get some people that read it that know what they're doing.
So, Jack, you said there's a second question, Jack?
Yeah. Is this normal for the first book? But you said that. But she comes back and says, I keep rereading and worry.
Keep rereading or rewriting?
Rereading. I guess she's rereading the story.
She's rereading her story that she's writing.
15.
She gets worried.
Yeah. So in that right there, she's going to write it into, either she needs, if the story's no good, she just needs to then go out and create a new story.
Yes.
But at this point, I'd get it to a writer's group, somebody that they can get another perspective on it, because she's going to keep on rereading it and talk herself out of a story.
Yeah. Well, and there are a lot of good writers groups out there. I mean, you can go to the forum. If not, there's a lot of the writers who have won these contests that have their own groups. And there's a lot of them that are friend up together. You'd be surprised how many of these have made friends and have stayed friends. Yeah. Because I do interviews with them, so I know this one's friends or that one's friends, and I've actually stayed friends with several of the groups. It's weird, but when you if you win, you're going to get a partner when you get there anyway. So it's all I can tell you is win. You're going to love it if you win. See, like Dean Wesley Smith, he's everything. He's not just an author. He owns his own corporation. He does his own publishing. He does everything.
It's a fact.
Yeah, he does a whole. So when you have the man in front of you, who's a wealthy man, when you have him in front of you, don't waste his time. Ask the questions. He don't need you to kid around and beat around. He needs you to ask your questions, and he'll tell you he's more pointed than some of the other judges are. Yes, I like Dean. Yes, I like people who speak their mind. I was telling him something about writing his book. He said, "Joe, go write the damn thing and leave me alone." It's like, well, he wasn't going to hurt my feelings. He knew that too. But
hey, Joe, I got to run.
Get on out of here.
Pleasure meeting you, right?
Yeah, because we're not far out of here ourselves. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, I got it. Jason just dropped off this week's podcast, so I need to upload it now and get it sent to you.
This guy Jason, he is Satan, people. He got the red hair, horns, and horns going in and out. He's married to a little demon. Oh my God, that's the one he was talking about earlier. That puts me to work all the time.
Good night, everybody.
Be good, Jack.
Yes, Sean.
Yeah, be good, Jan. Be good. It's I don't know. Well, no, they got to go. They got lives and stuff to do. Me and Jay's gonna wrap y'all up and hook y'all up. It's so John did good as usual. He was good on here. So don't forget he's traveling, so y'all not gonna see him. You going 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I'll be gone for a couple of weeks, but I'll be. Well, you can always try to get Emily onto your show there. She's.
I'm sending a spy bot after Emily. I'm putting a spy bot on her ass. I'm sending one over there. I got a friend that lives in Hollywood. I'm gonna say, look, put a spy bot on this chick. No, Emily, I'm
I
just
just took
teasing.
my headphones off, so it's that speaker on my laptop. So now she's listening to you.
She knows I love her though. It's no, Carlin. No, Emily is his wife. No, so you heard us talking to Emily in the chat room. That's Emily Min's house from FT Frickin'. Yeah, she's on Friday. The other Emily is his wife. Then she's from Canada. Yeah, from Canada. Yes, Canada. That's what it is. Because Trudeau's in charge, so it's Canada until they get a real leader up there. That's what it's going to be like. It's getting cold. I'm expecting some Christmas chocolate coming down from Canada. Santa Claus sends me chocolate every once in a while, so yeah, I like Santa. No, if y'all do see John, tell him hi. Don't harass him, man, though, because he is going to be really busy while he's there.
Buy him a fish and chips if he's in London.
Exactly.
Or tell him a good place where they're at. What are you talking about? Wait, what underground? What are you talking about? Underground subway station? I'm not from. I have no knowledge about London at all.
Yeah, all the tubes are underground. All the stations underground there.
So she's saying that
where I'll be around that area.
Something about the station near the palace or something has the best fish and chips in all of England. Shit, that's a pretty big boast. Will you send me the name of him? I'll send it on to him. No, I'll send it on to him.
Dickinson.
It's it's just when you just look up the name, when you send me the name, I'll email him. Yeah, he's gonna be traveling. It's not like he can't get emails. It's not like he's going to the former Soviet Union or anything.
He's not going to the medieval times. He's going
to China.
Or China.
North Korea.
Miss Fresh, what you got for us, Miss Fresh? No, just submit 17,000 words or less. Yeah, just submit. That's all you got to do is submit. And
you can go to riseoffuture.com. All the rules there on the section enter the contest.
I'm telling you, if I had $1 for them, I said submit, I'd be a millionaire. It's no, really, just shit. You'd be way more than I would be. That's the easiest thing. Look, eventually, what I'm going to do is when I finish writing this, I'm going to talk with the good ones and get some help from them to go through it as a story because it's going to be big. But eventually, I'll take a piece of it. Oh, I guess I won't be able to if I get them to help me. That'll be cheating. Anyway, I'll take a piece of it and submit it, and then they can, tell me what the hell's wrong with it. It's well, no, I've threatened his wife a few times. I'm just going to stick all 150,000 pages in an envelope, mail it to her ass. I can't edit. No, indeed not. Thank God for spell correct and grammar correct, and they're not perfect by any means, but
they do help.
Well, if I'm typing on my keyboard, I don't make as many mistakes. If I'm typing on that stupid phone, I make all kinds. My phone turns words in. So I typed to a friend of mine, "Hey, friend, what's up?" No, I said, "Hey, friend, what are we doing?" But it said, "Hey, grind." Something about it said, "Hey, we're going to grind" or something. I'm like, he writes me back. He said, "Joe, I didn't know you swung that way, my friend." I was like, what the f- are you talking about? I looked down at my phone. I said, "Jesus, man, come on with your spell correct." No, I can't. I can type fast now, but I can't on the phone. I got fat fingers, people. That's how it is. No, we got 5 minutes. I got 8 questions. You better get them in the next 5 minutes. John got to get dressed. He got to be looking good and sharp. It's Saturday morning. Oh no, the boss lady gonna put him to work tomorrow. No, he don't get off no days. He gets no free days. Yeah. Well, that's true. And John will tell you this. Anybody who knows me and talks to me on a regular basis knows they have to learn JoJo'ese. If they don't learn JoJo'ese, they're never going to know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, see, Emily's down there. Emily knows too. It's I can't help it. I leave out words, sometimes sentences. Thank God these people are getting semi-telepathic now, so they know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm trying to get better, but I get to typing real fast, and my fingers are just far slower than my brain is. It's and I'll go back. Sometimes I'll go back and read. I try to remind myself to read every time. Sometimes I forget. I'll go back and say, "What? I don't even know what the hell I said." I'm like, let's fix this. Yes, people, pay attention to what you're texting. You never know who you're texting to, and you don't want to text something really stupid to somebody you're actually doing work with. You mean business? No, that goes through one of the webs, Microsoft Office. So I don't have to worry about that. It corrects all that stuff. It corrects prices, language, the whole 9 yards. It is a 70s thing. You mean Jack? Jack was in the Navy around the same time I was, somewhere in the early 80s. Yes. We've been, it's funny because we had both been to the bombing derby at the same time, but we didn't know each other at that time. We might have known each other, might not even known it. Might have met him at one of the places where you go sleep off base. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing like that, people. No.
Anyway, Joe, thank you very much for
You get, but yes, and I'll text you when I know whatever this is tonight. I haven't really looked yet, but
Okay, I
I'll
appreciate that.
be good. Stay out of trouble. Give the boss a hug for me.
I definitely will, and you'll have I'm about ready to upload the podcast.
The archive.
The just dropped off.
Cool. Then I'll put it up. Well, if you got it tonight, I'll put it up tomorrow sometime.
Yeah,
I'll put the other ones
you
up
have it
tonight.
Have a good one, John.
Thank you very much.
Good, baby. Thanks again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Jimmy Reed, we're getting ready to get out of here. Let me see. What did you send me? I just seen it come across my screen. What did I do with it? No, we already seen the evidence thing. Oh, the metal world. I did see that. NASA's going to send a mission to the metal world. I did see that. It's a big asteroid, I think it is, made out of metal. They keep finding these asteroids loaded down with all this stuff on. I mean, somebody's going to get stinking wealthy like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but the logistics to get out there and get back, that's how much are you going to pay to get out there?
Well, if Elon's doing it, not much. I mean, he's building.
He's closer than anybody.
I mean, he's building rockets like they're nothing. He's got them down. He's building replaceable rockets for prices even NASA can't think of. Yeah. I mean, they're just, oh my God, so cheap. Well, Emily, they said the boots on Neil Armstrong were the wrong boots. You might be right. It's people, y'all don't fight about that. Don't kill each other over Neil Armstrong's boots. Okay. Now, when NASA puts these new homes up on the moon, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, you'll be able to live on the moon. You'll be able to live in a neighborhood on the moon. And I'm going to say this because I'm kind of funny about this. If by any chance we're going to start building on the moon, I'm all for it. Just on the dark side. I don't want to look at my moon and see shit on the moon. I don't want to see shit signing back at me. No, I mean, it won't be a romantic moon anymore. It'll just be some ugly thing in the sky with a bunch of crap on it. Eat at Joe's.
Even fictionally speaking, William Riker in Star Trek, he mentioned something about looking up at the moon and seeing all the different cities on the moon and Mars. Yeah. It's like, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, Lake Armstrong. I remember that. I still remember that. It's but what can we do? Christopher, as best I know, 10 major countries have now landed or been probed on the moon. So the top 5, of course, are the United States, the UK, India, China, and the USA, or Russia and the USA, sorry.
I don't think Russia's landed anything on the moon, but they have several satellites where they did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even mean, I mean, just they got orbits. There's stuff in orbit. It's India. Now, they're saying India faked their little moon landing the other day. China's saying that, so I don't know if it's true or not. But you now have six major countries and 4 sub-countries that you can look and see what's on the moon now. So it's kind of weird. Russia was the first to crash on the moon. We were the first to land on the moon. A little bit different, but still, they were. Russia was the first when it came to space. Russia was first in a lot of things.
Just about all of it.
And the U.S. came second. Yeah, pretty much in everything. We were overly cautious. Of course, we were more successful. And then, of course, what was it? 17, 18, and 19? No, it was 18, 19, and 20 were bought and paid for. These were missions that were bought and paid for, but for some reason, we didn't use them. And then recently, NASA made a slip and said that the systems were gone. So maybe we did use them. I just don't know where they could have launched them from this planet without being seen. They'd have had to cut a deal with Russia or China. I mean, they might have been able to launch them out in the desert somewhere. Or
they could have launched from Edwards into California.
I mean, that's a big blast, and it's going to arc over the area. So I'm not sure how they did that. But anyway, what do you mean? What you into plasma? We're going to plasma. It's like the plasma in your TV, huh?
Jupiter is plasma, maybe, but not the moon.
We're talking to Emily in the room with us, yeah. Well, y'all got about 2 more minutes and we're out of here. Well, we started a little late, so we're going to run over about 5 minutes. But no, Jay's on Church of Mavis with Jeffrey Pritchard. Mm-hmm. The madman, Jeffrey Pritchard. Yo, he's the madman for sure. Oh, no, I ain't got nothing on Jeffrey. He's crazier than I am. Jeffrey is one of the oldest hosts on the network. Oh, yes, he is. And I know Michael left.
The oldest host, but longest running.
Yeah, he's been here a long time. He's made it through 2 different station managers. And he got into it when Stephanie first took over. He got into it bad with her. I thought for sure he was getting his ass fired, but somehow they worked it out. Well, they worked it out. So, yes, Christopher, we're going to be doing pay for. So the new system, the new television system on Roku allows us to do pay for events on location, and then we also have it set up to where we can do like different archives we can put up for pay. Yeah. So you're going to be able to get those too. Well, there's a lot of stuff that you can't get right now because it's only on a pay for event. So no, the pay for events are going to be different. That's when we're going to be doing we got people doing stuff for Halloween on different locations and stuff like that. So we'll be using that. You mean how much it's going to cost? It's going to depend on the event, who's running it, where's it at, what the cost is going in. Yeah. So, but no, yeah, you can do it. So you can take this system we're on right now, go anywhere in the world for that matter, and stream it live at a pay for event. And if we want to, we can do a pay for event per camera if we really want to. So we can put each camera as a pay event. Yes. We probably won't do it that way, but well, Marky asked me that if we might do it per person. So if people are running cameras themselves, would you want to see Jay's camera? You want to see Jack's camera? You want to see my camera? So on and so forth. He'll be able to do that. Well, the reason why is you're not going to be able to watch them all anyway. Yeah, so it's up to them what they want to do. I know one of them's talking about Gettysburg, but there's some kind of remodeling going on there right now. One's talking about some haunted sanitarium somewhere in New York they want to do. They can do whatever they want, and we just hook it up as pay for listen. And we don't know if it's going to be one person, 500 people, 2 people. It's one of those things, though. See, we're going to do it this month, but you're not going to make a lot of money this month because you don't have enough advertisement time. But these events now that you can put out 7, 8 months, I got the Axe Murder on in 6 months, where you just broadcast that for 6 months and then put it on as a pay for event. Yeah, it doesn't matter what show it is. Any show can be a pay for event. Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah. So no, I mean that's the whole for having a pay for system. We're going to add a pay for system to the home website too, for just paying for particular shows and stuff.
Yeah, you got 23 years worth of archives.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of stuff up there. I mean, we're still going to be giving away a lot of stuff. It just there'll be some stuff that'll. All the gray zones are only for purchase only. If you want to listen to Michelle and I talk about 70 different topics, you'll have to pay for them. It's not going to be much. Probably be $5 a show, but there's a lot of good material in there. And getting Michelle and I together doing it is a rare thing to start off with. Because we're both busy. Yes. No, Emily comes on at 6, right? Yeah, 6. Jeff comes on at 7, so she comes on at 6, yeah. And no, there's a show before her, Spirit Guide, or no, that's not what it is. But she comes on an hour and a half before Emily. So yeah, Friday's got a good lineup. Yeah, a lot of good shows on Friday. We talk about a lot of different stuff across all the different shows. Well, the topics, see, a lot of the days are geared to a particular topic. Friday's not. Friday's just an open night that we can talk about whatever we want to. Well, Jeffrey does variety and we do news, and Emily does variety, and the Spirit Show doesn't, but they're the only show locked into a particular genre. No, Emily's listed as variety on the network. Yeah, because she does a lot of different stuff with her show. Mm-hmm. What do you mean she's pregnant by an alien? Well, that's her problem, not mine. Oh, Emily, I know.
We can advertise that.
Yes, we'll put that out for everybody to know about. Well, it depends what you think aliens are, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, if you ask some of my religious friends, they would tell you it's something angelic. or demon, is depending on which one you asked. It just depends. There's a last time I checked, it was 1,001 religions on the planet. So pick what you want to believe in. I'm not religious. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not anti-God or anything. I'm just not religious. I'm just not. I don't want to be. I just find no reason. Yeah, you know what? George Carlin does a skit on God. You should go listen to it.
He's got some really great philosophies.
You should really go listen to that skit, and you'll understand. And then I got in a debate with a friend of mine the other day by accident, which I didn't want to. I started by accident. So I said, "Who do you follow?" He said, "I follow God." I said, "Well, do you follow Jesus or the big boss, the three spirits?" And he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do you follow God the Father or Jesus the Son?" He said they're the same. I said, "No, the Father, Son, and the Ghost. No." So technically, he's really not. He's a separate entity. So who do you believe? I said, because his belief systems are different than his daddy's. I said, if you go read the Old Testament and even some of the stuff in the New Testament, God is fearful. I mean, and mean and does some harsh things, and Jesus doesn't. Jesus would be considered New Age.
He would be considered a hippie.
Yes. So who do you really follow? And like I like to warn my friends all the time when they tell me there's no such thing as this, there's no such thing as that. I said, you're awful brave to put limitations on the creator. I mean, the creator created everything, so you can't be limiting the creator because he, she, or it might take a dim view of that and decide to uncreate your ass. And I'm just saying, people, don't be limiting people, until you know what's going on. It's yes, I do right here. But anyway, we got to get our butts out of here. We've caught up all our time, so we got to go. Be sure to come check out Emily's on Friday. Check me out on Wednesday and Friday night. Jay's on Friday, and Jack, who was here with us a little while ago, he is on Tuesday. And John, who was here before that, is here on Monday. So be sure to come check him out. It was host night tonight. On that note, good night, and stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio.